times of great trouble, you should meditate more, she says, because then God takes over. And also she says, because, but so much is happening. And she said you should, we should save the children. She said at one point, if the children are too much suffering, Shiva will destroy the world for sure.
Ooh, I hope so.
And she said at one time, she was still alive, and she said, because she can interact with Shiva, the upper lord, and she said in one meditation, but that takes for 2 days, those people who really meditate deep, she was interacting with Shiva to not destroy it yet. She just give the people, the world, some more chance to, but we did, that was already like 6 or 7 years ago. So we didn't go better, we were worse off. So, okay, there is.
But you know, what's fascinating to me about meditation, I was feeling it like this morning. Like, I feel like I'm popping in another world. Like, I feel
you do.
We're like focused on this plane, but when I meditate, I'm like popping my consciousness in another world and interacting with other things, beings, energy, whatever. And I was kind of thinking maybe that's kind of like psychedelics, but more controlled, where you're kind of popping in and you're sharing and you're getting downloads from whatever's on the other side. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's all largely to me.
Yeah, I think in the beginning you go and people might see some things, people might hear some things, but on the when you go still deeper and deeper, then you get an extremely silent world. It's just like the silence. Everything came out of silence. You can go to that realm, and but it's a working. It happens sometimes, and otherwise you're in those different realms. Yeah, but the thing is, she said you don't. My guru says it, but that's her way. Everybody has his own way. She says you don't need to see things, but in the beginning you can see things. And some people who are more with the past busy, they see things out of the past, and people who are more focused on the future can already see things of the future. And she said, you should be in the present, and when you're in the present, you can align exactly like you see, like you have a line here, like 3 lines. One is going this direction, one is going that. We hear you. One is going that direction, and one is going upwards. And then and then you come in the highest realm. Because then this realm, there are 3 realms. There, the left, they call it the right. The left is more emotional, the right is more focused on future. And when you're going above them, then you see them, but you're not into them. And then you can work from divine inspiration. And then the gods can go and work through you, you said. She said something, the gods can do anything if you don't let them. They have to work through you. That's why we need to connect. Something like that. They can do, but
like there's a consent thing. So it goes along with like how we do things contractually here and maybe everywhere is, I guess, there are things that act with your consent, and then there are others that act in your weakness.
Yes.
And that's where you're talking about like dark negative energy, archons, or demons or whatever. If you're weakened by mental illness or see, then it makes me wonder, when someone does psychedelics, is it highly controlled or is it not controlled, where you can have something positive take over and influence or interface with you as well as something negative?
Yes, she said you can do. She said LSD is actually the best drugs, but it's a drug. It can bring you to the divine real. And I know somebody who did LSD. He wrote in a book, and he said, I can see the deities. He saw Christ, he saw Shiva, and he saw other deities. But the deities, they were furious because you're not allowed to see them. And then, I mean, he got thrown out of that realm because they can do that. And he said, and she said, you can do that, but then later on, your next life, you have to start all over again because you damaged your brain a bit. And if you control it like the shamans, they control it. They have a discipline. It's not like it's not an. I think they don't escape from reality, but they go in another realm to get help for their patients. And she said they can do it, but it's also very difficult for them because if they cannot come back in the reality where they are in, then she said, then you're lost. And she said, then, yeah, I have to joke about it. You will not be found between lost and found if you're lost in another realm. So your soul is in another realm. If you cannot come back, your body can come back, but it's still here. But your soul can be lost in another realm where we don't live. So they're different realms, and you have they're good ones, they're less good ones, and they're very dark ones too. But they're also like other realms who are not really bad, but actually where we're not supposed to be. But you can get lost there. And she said it's very hard to come back. And some shamans they do soul retrieval. They call it soul retrieval. So they want to get the soul back in this reality. And Lakota, I think more from the south, but Lakota shamans, they do that. For people who they feel their soul is not in this realm, this lost, you have to do that. That's why she said it's actually dangerous to experience with it, but she said it's good in a way because you're seeking. And when everybody is seeking for God, she says, on the end, actually everybody is seeking for God. Everybody wants to come back to where they come from. It's like your human being cannot never be totally happy or satisfied when they don't find God. It's like a child who's lost a mother. It only stops crying when it finds back the mother. She said, so you have to see it like that. And we are still in a kind of baby stage. We are not yet, maybe some are adult, only the very, very high seekers who are, they are adult seekers, but we are still very, very like baby-like and trying to find God, and we try to do experience, and it's good. She said it's okay, but at some point it can damage you. And she said many people get lost in those realms by seeking, and it's very sad. So that's why she said try to focus in the center. And try just by meditating. It takes time and discipline, but that's actually the best you can do to not get lost. And she said in America especially, the people are the great seekers in America, but they go to extreme behavior, and and then it's very difficult to you can get totally lost. And but yeah, she says you have to be careful. It's a kind of discipline too, but it should not be a discipline because after a while, like you say, you love to meditate and it comes spontaneously. And if you're in the state of like totally relaxed and you're calm and really super relaxed, then she can come enter. I mean, of the goddess, she can enter. They just wait to enter. That's the only thing. But if our mind is constant busy, there is no. That's like Jesus is the gateway to spirituality, and Jesus. She said they're all deities. They have all their functions, and Jesus is like just before the gateway. Is living in all of us before to get to the goddess of the God, and he tries to calm you down, your mind. So actually, God can enter. It's more like that. So if I meditate with you or with all those people here, together we can that it helps lifting each other up. It's good when you meditate in a whole group.
Yeah, I've never done that. I have to try group meditation. But it is scary, the idea you can lose your soul there. But then again, I mean, look at where we are. I don't think anything is more scarier than this. So I'll give it a shot. Do you meditate, Holly? Or psychedelic?
I have. I've been known to. I've been known to pray. You know, I've been was baptized twice as a Christian. You know, I'm down for all that. But at the end of the day, it's kind of resolved itself for me as manifestation. You know, statement of fact and statements of, you know, reality. Because when we speak a word, it makes a sound, and it creates a light, even has a color, and it creates a reality. So you know, that's what I'm doing now. That's all I do. I have a little, you know, a little shabby white candle, and
Yeah, candle is always good to burn when you meditate.
Why is that?
my oh yeah,
What we
Sage?
do a candle, why we use a candle, it burns away the negativity. And she said, I mean, especially in America, you celebrate Halloween, but actually by that you invite all dark spirits. And when you have to do the experience. When you burn a candle with Halloween, it burns so much quicker. It finishes so much quicker than when it's not Halloween. So she said it's like it goes like shh. And I did it once, so the candle is totally going because everybody is actually inviting dark spirits, even if it's fun. She said you see it as fun, but actually you do all those. You dress yourself like ghosts or like dead people, and negative spirits they like that, so they come and you let them enter. And actually that's a very very inauspicious day. So actually, we should not do it. But she said, yeah, that's a culture in America, or especially, but now it's everywhere because in Europe they do it too. But it's not a positive thing. So, and she said, even if you meditate, it's good that you burn a candle because it burns away the negativity we don't see. And it's also good when you have an incense, a natural one. It gives. It clears the surrounding of like sage. When you do sage, like you smudge your room, it's always good. It's always good when you meditate in a place that you clean it up totally. It has to be clean, actually physical and on etherical level. And then it's
There's a scripture that talks about that. So is it kind of like prayer, where you're
yeah.
supposed to be weary about who you pray with? Because, and I forgot the scripture a long time ago. But so is meditation the same when you do group meditation or group prayer? You are cognizant of who they are.
Yeah, and it's very important because there might be people who are possessed and they look for solutions. So, and if you're not in the center, that possessions can, like you said, they can jump into you without you knowing and can mesmerize you. So that's very important when they're very strong people, they uplift whole the group. Like if I go to India, Indians they are like meditation. They learn to meditate from small, so they meditate. And if I go there and I do it in group, then it's really like you start glowing and you're radiant and your heart start bubbling of joy, because you have to feel the ultimate feeling is actually the joy. Because she said everybody's looking for love, but you never look inside of you because the love is inside your heart. And you just have to let it go. You have to ask. In a prayer, you ask actually instead of praying. I only can give you positive things. Don't pray to me, this person did to me and what can I do? The love, God is not negative. I cannot increase your anger to someone. I cannot increase your hate. That is not she said that's not the quality of when you're light. You can't do that because you're light. How can I be dark? She said, how can I be dark? I'm light. So whenever you ask for a positive quality, I can imbibe it in you if you're open for it. If you feel like you have no love, or if you don't feel loved, then you can ask, please, of the goddess. We say mother because love is a nourishing energy. So we ask, I do it like this. So mother, please increase my love inside so that I emit love around me, so that people are not irritated by my behavior, or that people are calm down or soothed, that I can have motherly qualities or fatherly qualities. Because and then you feel that increase when you wait. I mean, now the last days are not so good in meditation, but when you're really good in meditation, you ask for it, they give it. but you can never ask for something negative. But she said light doesn't have negative qualities, so it can. You can say put some light on the negative situation so that you can see inside, why is this happening to me? I can do that, but and what they do destroy demons. The deities, they do destroy demons. If you ask them, they do that. And she said, yeah, actually, if I sometimes, because of the world situation, I sometimes I do talk. I say, yeah, this is this vaccine, and all. I really talk like that, like okay, because I do believe they hear what you say, and you ask for how can we solve this, and then you see more and more people get aware of it. It's like you see now in the world, more and people are waking up, and if everybody prays that people wake up for the truth instead of being, yeah, sometimes I am angry too, or I react like they don't see the truth. You better pray that open their eyes from inside for what is really going on, and then so that their power to destroy is finished. So, or that they can transform. Sometimes if like a very dark energy, they can also transform to the light because they have a lot of power. If they use it in the positive way, they can they can get really a lot of done. Like for example, I know a little bit more from the Vedas because I'm studying that more. Like the one who wrote the Ramayana, and there is a Mahabharata. He was actually, before he became enlightened, he was a thief, a raper, and he stole, and he was harassing the people of his village. And at some point, I don't know all the story. Yeah, he got remorse. He felt sorry for what he did, and maybe he saw somebody meditating. So he just his eye was on some sage who was very sitting peacefully meditating. And then maybe the sage looked at him like in a very clear way so that he could see inside what he was doing, because they don't judge. They just, guru never judge, just opens your eyes for how you're operating. That's what the guru should do. Gurus don't say, oh, he's bad, he's not bad. They will see evil, but it's a dark energy. They put the light on it so it goes away anyhow. So, and he just totally changed. And in that time, probably that's 11,000 years ago, in the time of Rama, he meditated with another guru, and then he became totally enlightened. And then he wrote the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, and they live very, very, very long.
It's like a Saul to Paul story, right? So the Old Testament was written by Paul, but before Paul was Saul.
Yeah.
And he was involved in tax collection and murder and thievery and all that great stuff.
Yeah.
So there's almost like a theme there. It's almost like a pattern. And I wonder if that's like replicated with other various books that are world shifting.
Yeah, it's true. And she said also from the Bible that there is so much more in the Bible which is not written, because she said Paul wrote the Bible, but he wrote it from a patriarch vision, because Paul, because he didn't like women. She said he didn't like women, so everything should be led by man. Most of the time, it's a kind of, and because Mother Mary was very important, but it's never mentioned. We don't know nothing about her, nothing at all, because she was the big support of Jesus, and you don't know. We don't know anything about it because it's not written. It's not written down. Maybe in another Bible, I don't know, which is still hidden. There's some hidden under the pyramid or something. The how do you call them? The
Sphinx, pyramid.
There are some new secrets which is not really revealed. So many things is not even mentioned, which has happened in Jesus' time. And Jesus, he forgave and he healed a lot, but he also, it's never mentioned in the Bible, he also killed demons, she said. He killed demons.
Oh, wow. That's so it's kind of like.
So like you said,
everything goes through a cultural filter. right?
Yes.
Everything goes through it, and I think we probably go a little bit off the cliff
Yeah.
when it comes to looking back and like taking in things with a grain of salt at the time that they came from. And so at the
Yes.
time, obviously women weren't popular. When you said that, it made me think of Moses and writing or translating
Yeah.
what people say was the Sanskrit text to create Genesis,
Yeah.
Exodus, and those books. And
Yeah.
he had certain prejudice at that time in Egypt.
Yeah.
Women weren't thought as equals. And so he wrote in a lot of things in his
Yeah.
perception, in his culture, of what God would or wouldn't do. So that's very interesting. But we do that,
Yeah,
this is
true.
the real
And
time.
she said, yeah, because the people, they were 40 years in the desert, and with Moses, like they went through the desert to look for the new land. She said about, the Dead Sea Scrolls, I mean. And she said they kept, the divine kept them going in circles because they were really doing like extremely like not good behaved. So every time when God spoke to, Moses gets some revelation, most of the time they didn't listen, and then the divine does trick you when they trick you when you don't learn your lesson. You don't get to see, it's symbolic and it's in reality. You don't get to see the green land. You don't get to have that holy water and the holy food. Because, I'm telling you, I'm trying to save you, but you go against your savior. So I cannot give you the land yet. Something like that, she said. And what did she also say? Well, it's interesting. About a lot of people we don't recognize actually are very holy people. No, so I cannot, they just slipped out of my mind. I don't know. Like not good people through the eyes of culture, but actually through the divine eyes, very good people. She also said, why do you work so much? Why do you work so much? Why don't you listen? We are created. She said, God created you. Actually, divine created you to give you joy and love. That's all he did to create you and to come back to. The play was for them kind of a play. Like the seed is in your heart, and now you have to find us. Kind of through the centuries, but we went too much. In our ego and in our super ego, like in our so actually our ego grow out of too high, too much ego we created, and that's why the humans, we actually are so bad in actually making a lot of mistakes. She said even there are a lot of deities, we don't know that, and they ask actually like that's another realm, and she said they're like fed up with you humans being, they're really fed up with you, so you really should behave because it might I cannot stop them if they want to destroy the world. I can't stop them. You don't behave, you get every chance to behave with all those people you killed, like Jesus. And Jesus, she said, it's not good when you see him on the cross. The cross is the symbol, but don't put Jesus on him. You have to see Jesus as a joyful, very joyful, happy man, and a very and very well built. He was not skinny. He was like a handsome, very well built man. And you create that image of being a very skinny, suffering man who's always in pain. He was a very joyful man through all his life. So that is actually also another all these misinterpretations we have of all those people who are written in the Bible or in the Quran or in the in Hinduism. There is such a misinterpretation because of our ego. Actually, only children many times see them like they really are. If they can see them, they have a pure mind, still a pristine mind, but we don't have it. Anyhow, actually, when I meditate, I try to go in the present and let myself come in the state of pure silence, no thinking. Try to get, but it's very hard for me not to think, but you can. And then actually you get the divine inspiration. And that's, but you should, yeah, it's like a little bit, if you see Eckhart Tolle is, he describes it good, but like being in the present. And then your spirit is the guide for me. I mean, that's how I do it. I don't succeed so much, I have to say. I have to be honest, but it's the way. And then you also accept more easy reality, even what is happening around you. You can witness it more without judging. Every time we judge, yeah, she said, how more you judge, how more you become the one you judge. But we know all that, but we still do it. I mean, I still do it. So anyhow, that's my way of trying to meditate, and and also, of course, we have to try to be good human beings, to become our best, and that is just be good human beings, and and you have to pray for protection. You really have to do that. You have to pray for protection for yourself and for your family. And then protection can come. And there is also karma, but karma is hard to understand because sometimes you see people suffering. For me, it's still very hard when we see children suffering. But anyhow, it's that's karma. Sometimes it's karma, but it's also our karma. We should really save the children. It's most important. I mean, what I know from my guru, if we don't save the children, we will not be saved at all. We can again, they can still again reboot all the world. It will be destroyed for sure. We can, but actually everybody is awakening. So and if more people awake, and maybe I can do once a meditation and try to lead a meditation how I do it, because to go in the center, I have to prepare it a little bit, but not really. I mean, if so much more people meditate, you lift up the world. So in a way, it's good that we know the truth, but in a way, if we get too much involved with what is the negativity, it can bring us down too. Some people get lost by trying to solve the negativity. She said we should see it and then surrender it to the divine. And then forget. We have to try to be joyful. I mean, try. It has to come spontaneously. Really, like the joy has to come out of us without forcing it. And then still, like I think Girard is very joyful most of the time of the day, but he sees what is going on, negativity, and that's good, because then it's like if we know it, and the gods can see it through, and they can do something about it. I mean, that's how I am taught, so it's open to everyone to have his own way of meditating, but that's the way I meditate, just trying to be in the silence. I sit nicely in meditation. I mean, you can sit everywhere. If you have back problems, you sit on a chair. You have to be comfortable. You always sit like this and nicely on the ground, but some people cannot sit on the ground. She said it's not so necessary. It's good when you can do it, but when you cannot do it, you have to relax, because if your body is in tension, your energy, the motherly energy, it's actually the Kundalini is actually a motherly energy. So I can maybe talk a little bit about the Kundalini, how I have been taught by my guru. And she said the Kundalini is very nourishing, and she rises in you from the back of the bone upwards through all the chakras, then above your head. And she should come here, but most of the people, the Kundalini is sleeping, because we are not in touch, or not in communication, or divine energy is blocked. And but now she said this time is that the Kundalini can be awakened in every person. So when it arises, it goes through all chakras and then comes out here. And then it makes contact with the divine energy. So the divine energy in you, actually the Kundalini, makes contact with the divine energy. And then you feel the totally silence if you're very deep. But that's like, we are not like Buddhas. I mean, we can become like Buddhas, but we're not. And then you have a whole enlightenment. But now, for me, if there is a string coming through my head, it's just one little thread. It's not like a whole lamp. Like maybe Tesla had probably like a lot of high enlightenment. A lot of people were enlightened. Actually, had a very high enlightenment. It's Tesla, I think. It's Shakespeare was enlightened. William Blake was enlightened. In Italy, a lot of people who invent stuff, they are enlightened. Michelangelo was enlightened. Who else? There are a lot of people enlightened. Mark Twain was enlightened. She has a whole list. I have a whole half book with people who are enlightened, and who try to tell to their invention, or to their stories, or to their poets, to tell people, to be, to go in the silence. Socrates was enlightened. The I Ching is actually an enlightened book. It's very good. It's quite pristine. It's not so much changed, she said. Then you have, and in every religion, like Mohammed was enlightened, but this was not understood, because the Quran says good things, but also like the Bible, a lot of things is not true. Actually, she said, because the women, they carry, I mean, now everybody wears a mask, but the women, and in that time, there was so much war in where Muhammad lived. So, and there were, and the men were still very, very violent. So the women had to protect themselves and to hide themselves, and that was the reason why they wear the burqa, something like that. Yeah, now it didn't change so much actually, but that was the reason. It was not. It was cultural. That they said maybe you better wear this to be protected. So that you have more chance to be attacked. That is what she said. But it was not meant to stay. And in that time, a man could marry more women, because there was so much war. There were shortage of men. And the women alone, they didn't have a job then or whatever. She couldn't live alone because she would die. That's why there was a rule, like, you can marry more wives if you can, if you have the wealth or the capacity to give them enough food. And it was like more like you have to take care of the sisters, so you could have more wives. That was then. But then situation changed, but she said it's better. A marriage is already a challenge for you in the West, for sure. So now you should surely stay with one wife and grow with that one wife and go to the difficult times. But
well, it started out as original communal living, and again,
yes,
the first wife was meant, and even in the Quran, is meant to choose the second, third, and fourth wives according to need and. Whatever, kids are involved in terms of, village approach to raising kids and everything else. But of course, then, as with everything else, pedophilia and the slave mating happened.
And that was totally wrong, of course.
Pretty much interfered with any actual originally functional societal norm that may have ever come out the gate,
It always goes, and then she said, we always do the opposite what was supposed to do. So it always, and that's, I think, because she said most of the time we should work on our ego, just shut it down. She said, look in the mirror every night, every day. I mean, she makes fun of it, and she says, Mr. Ego, go away. I don't need you. And laugh with yourself. The best thing is to laugh with yourself, with your own mistakes. Don't take yourself so seriously. And then you can, I mean, that's what's happening now. Everybody, we try to be right, and I'm right, or he's right, I'm right, and there's only just conflict. And we better laugh with ourselves. Okay, it's better to say, okay, I see it like this, and you see it like that. We don't know. We actually do really know almost nothing. Maybe, I mean, my guru lifted like little bit, just very little bit. She said, if I lift everything what I know, you can't handle it, you humans, you can't handle it. So she did the tip of the iceberg, and still it's like people don't want to know many times. She said like very strong truth sometimes. I mean, yeah, she's a guru, and they say, she's high evolved, and but she knows how to deal. What you can only say, that's also she says, only say to people what they can handle. You don't ask from a child to run the marathon when it's 2 years old. That's maybe for a man of 18 or 20 years old. So don't say big truths when they're not ready. You have to try to be sensitive for that, but you have to be always loving and friendly. And but also you have to protect yourself when it's really like you don't go, yeah, to like somebody want to kill you. Don't, you have to be a common sense too. You're not going to embrace somebody who wants to kill you, or not wants to kill you, for example. There is a lot of common sense you need, but most of
Well,
the
that's
time
where
you
the
have,
protection comes in, and that's where by
yeah,
loving yourself, by
yeah,
having that ability to protect yourself, because we all know at a certain point what that involves. That is a supernatural thing.
yeah,
That is our higher self ultimately. To me, that's God. That is the
yeah,
government of defense, the
yeah,
galactic order of defense. However that applies to you, you know when that protection guard is in place. And most of us by a certain age know how to establish that protection, whether it's in a church
yeah,
attendance or an airport in a white robe. It just is your way of going back to center into yourself. And
yeah.
one of
It's very
the
important.
most dramatic things about any study of religion is that ultimately we're alone
Yeah,
except for
yeah,
that government of
yeah. It's
defense.
true.
And so that is what I wanted to mention before too. The other thing we don't talk about are the women of Jesus. You were talking about the
Yeah, but my
apostles,
gurus, yeah,
and
the women
there
of
was
Jesus,
a
but
certain number of females also, that it's the
yeah,
feminine divine aspect
yeah,
of
but
Jesus.
yeah.
So
That's, yeah, but she's, it's an all different vision that she has. She says, because, yeah, she knows all the stories about Jesus. She said Jesus was not married, and he never had a woman because it was not his. He was an incarnation. He's a deity. It was not his goal to marry on earth. He had this task to do, and he knew what he was going to do, and he knew his fate because they know everything. And but he gathered. He was a lot with women, but he was not like men, and like, because they make kind of, yeah, sexuality is for humans very important, and for us more important, but for the deities it's doesn't say anything, because we most of the time, according to my guru, I give that vision, we humanize deities, but deities are deities. It's like if an animal would make, yeah, maybe says an ant or ants, and maybe an ant can see only us through his ant eyes, and we can only see the deities through human eyes, but deities are not humans. You can say they're aliens, whatever, but and we are not animals either, so we cannot grasp the thing. And she said, you, especially in the West, you sexualize everything, and it's not to say that sex is bad or good. It's an energy which is for humans important, because she said marriage, or yeah, if you live together, is very important. So
well, it's
like
mischanneled for sure.
it's mischanneled, yes. And she said, yeah, it's very important. And priests, the celibacy is actually, that's not meant to be. Yeah, some people can. It's a free choice, but if you want to marry, you should marry. If a priest wants to marry, or if he speaks through God, but most priests, she said, are like Pharisee, and I don't want to do anything with them. I avoid them. She said, all the holy people, according to religions, or it's the Brahmins in India, it's the priests in Catholic or in Christianity. It's in, I don't know what it's called in the Quran, the Aman of,
The
yeah,
Amman exchange,
yeah.
yeah.
See, she said, I avoid all those people because they have the most bad vibrations. I don't want them. I don't want them near me. She said. So she
Well,
said,
there's
don't
a
listen.
patriarchal thread that I think at this point we're beginning to relate to this pedophilia, baby blood drinking tendency.
Yeah,
Um, and but I
yeah.
do
It's
think
that's
that
awful. That's, yeah.
nothing against men, because I can also in the same breath tell you that I think men are the most victimized in most civilizational, in most parts of our civilization right now. But there's a separation between, there's the severing of masculine and feminine divine,
Yeah,
which
this.
Jesu Christu apparently, with the male and feminine.
Yeah, but it's wrong understood. Yeah, that Jesus is like she said. There is every deity has a female Shakti. I mean, Shakti is the female goddess, and you have the god. There's the Shakti goddess is the female, and then you have the god. Like Shiva is with Parvati, and it's like that. They cannot go without. And Mary is with Mother Mary was the feminine energy from Jesus, but she was mother and he was her son. But of course, I didn't marry, but that was the power behind Jesus, and so there's Lakshmi and there's Vishnu, and there is Fatima and Mohammed. Fatima was 40 years old, I think, and she married Mohammed when he was 20s, because that energy they were relating, so they were. It's always like feminine energy needs to back masculine energy. They need each other. They're complementary, and it's everywhere in universe, whatever you call, even in planets. And it's good. I mean, they can be brother and sister. It's not always has to be sexuality, but it has the energy has to be there. And most of the time, it's man-wife, and it's good. But it could be a father and his daughter in a very positive way. Could be there has to be always a balance with feminine and masculine energy, and it's very important. So when you surround yourself, you need to talk with both energies so that you understand each other. Because if you live in your own world, it's good that you know you're feminine, and it's good that you know you're masculine, and you have to share that energy, and they lift each other up. That's very important. So all the deities, they have a feminine goddess, all of them. It's not without. Only like you have Ganesha. True, that's the innocence. Ganesha is the protector of the children, and he was actually the elephant god in India. It's very nice, those stories, but I should tell you maybe some more about the Indian stories. But he is the pure child. It's like Jung says: you have the child, the father, the son, and ghost. Like that's like a Shiva and Parvati and Ganesha. The Trinity. Yeah, no, it has a whole story why he's an elephant. Because she said. She said also about things an animal doesn't think. So the animals are they're actually guided by Shiva. Animals don't think. They have emotions. They can feel. They feel very well. That's why a dog, when there is a bad energy, he barks. The dog is a very good protector, and the dog is actually a very auspicious animal. Also a horse and dolphins too. That animals are really there for human beings. That is meant for being with human beings, especially the dog. And but they can feel dark energy, so they protect you. And so they don't think, they feel. That's why the Sphinx is that. That's a body with a lion body with a man face, and she said they turned it around. It should have been a lion face with a man body, but because what it means, if the body is, if the mind if the face is a human, that means the brain will take over and the heart will be left, she said, something like that. So actually, and an animal is more related to the animal feels, but doesn't take over with the mind, because when the mind takes we have the mind to think for our solutions in practical life, like you do. When it's used properly, like in the Venus Project and the Zeitgeist and things, it's wonderful. But when we use it only because of the ego, in a strong ego-minded, when it parts from the ego, it's very destructive. That's why Ganesha is a child, a pristine child with an elephant head. An elephant is very auspicious in India, and a human body, because it only does what the divine wants. So it's actually the protector from all the children, and he does protect your children if you recognize his presence. She says, if you don't recognize the gods, they cannot help you. If you don't want to know them, they're not there for you. So we have actually in our society, we make our gods with our mind, but we never can grasp gods with our mind. We have to try. That's why we need to meditate. Meditation is let divine talk to you, and prayer is you talk to the divine. The both are important, but if there is only prayer and you don't hear the answer, yeah, something like that. So I mean, that's according to my guru. So I just leave you free, whatever you want to do. And I cannot so well explain it, but she explains it much more simple and very very understandable.
That makes sense. It definitely makes sense to me. That, consciousness is consciousness, universal consciousness. The question is this individual universal consciousness, or is this really universal consciousness that we're all, in terms of religion and how that has progressed, I think it was all very, very necessary. But I always come back to that everything is light and sound. Everything. There's not a single thing I can point out to you that is directly composed out of light and sound. And that includes the religions are written the word.
The Big Bang
of religion is very important. And those words
she says,
have spoken into existence, actual realities. For example, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism. The thing is, Hinduism was spoken into reality, what is it, some million years before anything else?
Yeah, I don't. Oh, it's old. I don't. Yeah, I have the Ramayana here, and I have the Mahabharata. I have to yeah, that's very old. But in those times, the deities could be seen, they incarnated like a deity on the earth. Now our they cannot do it anymore because we cannot. If they would run away, if they would really present themselves like they are, then we would run away because we cannot handle that light. And in those times, there was not Kali Yuga then, not at that time. So they knew the gods, and they knew human beings. They were they incarnated as human beings. But Krishna is looking blue. Rama, they look blue. They were looking blue at that time too. They knew they were deities. That for them it was.
So it has to do with our perception of the deities at the time of incarnating, I think, too.
But they have they come in their in human form then, because they're hiding themselves in human form. But in those times they were more shining, more looking like deities. Now we don't know actually how they we can see each other's divine qualities in persons from you all. If we let them, that we can experience them. But if the divine would come now in their real form, we cannot handle it. We cannot handle that light because we are not ready for it. When we go, maybe, I don't know, when we die, we go to that realm where we can, where we actually see how we learned in life to actually the life, our goal is actually to become closer and closer to God every lifetime. And sometimes we fail and we go back again, and then we have to go always higher and higher. That is, and so I think when we die, we can see, maybe not everybody, we can see those deities more like they really are. And but that's my belief. It's not really my belief, but it's kind of a reality which is told to me, which I feel very connected to, and I don't want to impose it. But and it's actually through meditation, I understand it more deeper and deeper. So we have, but the thing is, like, there is the Trinity God. It's like Mary, the God is the God and the child. So it's like Jung says, it's very important. Jung understood it too, but he calls it the consciousness, the collective consciousness of a child, the collective feminine, the collective masculine. Those three energies are very important. And and the child is most important because the child is most close to God. And actually, when people are getting old in a healthy way, they're also again close to God, because then the mind takes less place. It fades away a bit. I mean, it's still alert, but it fades away, and then there is more time to be with God. A child has a lot of wisdom if you let it. It speaks because it doesn't think, it doesn't have yet concepts. Maybe in the West it gets more easily a concept. You have to behave like this, like they want to destroy the innocence of a child, because they want to fill. Actually, schools want to fill the child full of concepts which are not true. And she said, when I worked on a school, and she said, then if teacher asked to teach in the school, she said, no, I don't want teachers in the school. I want just people who are not teachers in the school. And so that's why she chose some people. Yeah, you can be teacher, you want to be teacher. And nobody I have not certification of a teacher, but because I didn't learn what I have to learn, of what is supposed to be learned in school. You just relate to the child, and you take that knowledge of the child, of that desire of the child, and you try to talk about it in a very free way. Of course, you have to learn them right, and you learn math. But actually, like yesterday in that watch party, that on the Ubuntu, it's actually like that. That's a perfect society, because schools they put concepts in you, and you need to learn skills. You said, and she said, in times of great need, which is actually now, if you don't know Mother Earth, if you don't know the herbs, if you don't know how she operates, you will be lost. Even if you know me, because she was also talking to us, because you always, she protects also, she has that energy. But if you don't listen to me, why should I protect you? If you don't listen to God, why should God protect you? God has common sense. What do you say? You don't go, you don't throw pearls to the swine, she said.
Swine, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's same with the gods. So the same with the gods. I mean, if you throw away the wisdom of what they want to tell you, then they go away. They're not in your presence. But
Which
if you want to listen,
thing.
Yeah.
It's a loving thing. If they tell you, it's like a child. You tell the child, don't touch the stove, don't touch the oven. That's hot. It's hot. It's hot. I love you, and unless I let you learn this lesson, you're going to end up burning down the house or killing yourself. So hot things you don't want to play with, and eventually the child burns himself, and that's how they learn. And so I think when deities, gods, whatever they are, letting them let us grow up is very important.
Yeah, they do. They give you time. And she said, basically, you don't need to know so much. You need the 10 Commandments. They're actually good. If you follow them, you're quite good, she says. If you're not interested in nothing from religion for whatsoever, but if you try to live good, like you don't steal, you don't do. Yeah, we live now in a society, everything is stolen, things like that. So we are now actually, she said, you're slaves. You prefer to be slaves of society than children of God. But if that is your choice, she said many times, if you want to go to hell, you're creating it. You do very nice. You're doing a good job. You're creating hell. But you can go to heaven. We're waiting. But if you don't want to come, you're free. That's what they say. We leave you free to choose what you want. If you want to create hell, you go. But she said also, but the hells are full. There's no place in hells. We need some more people in heaven, she said. So we need to create heaven actually by ourselves. It's our own. That's here, like you said. It's here. And if we're open, that's like the 4D of the 5D. It's that state when you are when you think about something and it's there. It's that's when your meditation is high, your energy is high. You need something, and it's good for you. It will be there. It's like sometimes, like people say, I think about someone. It's a long time ago, and then next day you see that person. That is when your energy is very high. You think with love of that person, or you, most of the time. then it's like synchronity, like Jung calls it synchronity. It's something like that, and that's the 4D dimension, and we should all be there. But if you're still falling and we go down and we think negativity and so, that's very hard to create. I mean, I think, I don't know, but that's my interpretation. If we are in a lower vibe, we don't have the power to create so much, and it's good, because if otherwise we don't know what we want, and we don't know what we create. Like you said, the negativity knows very well. She said negativity is very well and very focused on doing wrong, and we should also be focused, but in the same time, but on doing the good, because they gather together negativity to destroy you. You don't see it. I mean, she all saw that, she foresaw that. And we should gather together like we actually do on internet. She says internet is created by the negativity, but the divine uses it as tricks and brings you all together. So actually, how can you defeat actually the negativity is actually through tricks. Like monkeys do tricks. I think we always talk, you have a monkey mind, but actually the monkey god, there is Hanumana, and he defeats always the demons, if you read the stories, with his humor and his tricks. And actually, we should, if we get angry, we're going in their level. We feed them. She says it also. But if we can laugh with them, and we make them a little bit fun of them, they can't stand it. They expose them more and more and more. That's what you have to do. Defeat the negativity with tricks and with humor. It's much better than getting angry and things like that. So
there's an old saying that says, he or she who finds humor in any given situation wins. It's one of my favorite sayings.
Yeah, and she said, that's why, I mean, you're always joyful, Gerard. So actually, it's a very good attitude. You see the negativity, but you don't get drowned into it. So, and that's wonderful.
You can't. It'll destroy you. I just finished having. I was talking with someone a minute ago, and I was saying, hopefully you're enjoying the apocalypse. And she was kind of like, well, what does that mean? Apocalypse means revealing. How is information ever bad, right? How is, coming out of time of secrecy into a time of revealing more of what's behind the veil? How is that bad? I mean, it's a good thing. It's not that what's happening is good, but the fact that what's true is being revealed. And I think, like I said, you have to laugh through it. You have to enjoy life.
How do you keep your sense of humor?
I think everybody's great. Honestly, I think y'all are fake. I think nobody's here. I think I'm in the Truman Show. It's called the Gerard Show. And I think y'all laugh at me when I'm not around. I think y'all go home and you leave me here and you watch me on television. I just don't think this is real. I don't think adults would do the stuff that they do. Like, I'm half joking and I'm half being serious.
Like the avatars.
Well, right. I mean,
it's true.
Kids are born, like you said, and they're almost perfect, right? They're neutral. And then we break them into these little ridiculous avatar monsters, and they become bigger monsters as adults. And I don't think any of it's just so hard to take any of this seriously. People are so ridiculous. The times are so ridiculous. And I just end up laughing at myself for like even thinking this is real. This isn't real.
Yeah, but it's actually a good attitude, because it's like you have to witness, and it's okay. We are energy, and so yes, you say, why are you afraid to die? Because there is no death; it doesn't exist. Only for people who are 100% lost in materialism, there is death. They're zombies. They're already dead. That's why you said if actually she said if people who are extremely materialistic and extremely greedy, why? That's okay if they die. They're already dead. They have no life. They're not connected. They're dead. To the deities, they're dead. They're no energy. And you adore those people. You want to be like them, like the ultimate rich people and ultimate. They're dead, she says. What is there to? They're not. They can better enjoy their time there on earth, because they will not be in. They can never go to reach heavenly joy or heavenly love. I mean, She says,
But people
yeah.
do wake up. They wake
Yeah,
up
they do
at
wake up,
different
she says.
times, and
It's going
so
together.
I feel like that it's I don't know which way to go with that, actually, because I thought the same thing. Like, they're already dead. They're already spiritually dead. But then you never know. 5 years down the road, something triggers it and they wake up. So
Yeah. I
I
think,
guess that's being reborn. Basically, maybe that's the whole rebirth process.
yes, that's actually the spiritual. Our spiritual rebirth is actually the connection. And I think it goes together. The evil gets more and more exposed, and the divine is more and more coming close. I mean, people are waking up, they meditate more, they don't. Everybody is seeking now more because of in times of great
Yes.
great crisis. People want, they want to know if they were not interested in gods or in light or in whatever, in positive life. At that time, they want to know. Most people in crisis, and she said people when they're dying, even they were whole their life. Atheists, when they die of their dying accident, they say most of the time they scream, "Oh God, what happened?" See, even when they
Yes.
don't know me, I like a kind of because their inner
Instinct.
soul, yes,
Yes.
the soul knows. Even if the mind says there is no God, the soul knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, all light, whatever you call it, or the great intelligence. But she says there is female energy and masculine energy, and both are necessary. And
Yes.
yes, and we
It's a
both.
balance.
She said also, if we want to have peace, we should between masculine and feminine, because it's very important to bring totally peace. Women need to respect men, and men need to respect women both ways. She said, both are destroying each other. Maybe man is more in a physical way, but women can be very nasty. She said, man. She said actually now in the modern times, she said women are the Western women, maybe now the Indian women. She said, "You're destroying the masculinity. You're always being like commanding and being bossy to your husband and being this and being that. That is not what a wife is supposed to do. A wife is supposed to nourish the masculine energy so that he can go and work and brings his food for his family. And when you nourish him, you can melt him." I mean, she was also married. You can do whatever you want with your husband if you're nice and sweet. But if you're being aggressive, it doesn't work. A man has to be sometimes aggressive outside in the society, but the homely place should be a place of peace and nourishment and care.
It's
And that
like the
she's,
whole feminist movement
yeah,
is
she was
women
close.
trying to fight for their masculinity, like women trying to become more masculine, and
Yeah,
this
it's so
it
stupid.
shouldn't be that way. We need to embrace what
Yeah,
makes us
yes.
feminine.
Yeah,
And,
because man loves. Yeah,
Well,
she
first
said
of all, we
also.
start out. A lot of us were bullied into handing our newborn sons over to have their sexual organ amputated
Yeah, in your
yes,
country.
with no anesthesia. And so
Yeah,
that is not a good foundation for
no.
establishing a
no,
clear, transparent, trusting bond between women and men, most particularly mothers and sons. And you don't have to go back far in religious text to see reference to mothers and sons and baskets and Egyptians and the chosen people and newborn sons and blood above the door frame and all kinds of weirdness, to understand that there's a reason to keep the feminine divine separated from the masculine divine.
But that's what
Because
that's negativity wants to do that.
establish our power as
Yeah.
light bodies within
Yeah.
organic
But
principle.
as you says, if you know that you can, with your femininity, you can conquer a man, not with your aggressiveness. And a man can, with
exactly.
masculinity, he can take care of a woman. And a woman, she says, actually, ideal is when a man takes care of a women totally unfolds and relax, and she's becoming a flower for the man. And the man can enjoy more the femininity in every way, on physical level, on spiritual level, emotional level. And then you can create the divine societies. That's actually we should do. So we should both. We should men should respect women, and women should respect men. But if
It's
the
a
women
very
are,
fragile. It's a fragile balance.
yeah,
The thing
it's a
is, you know,
fragile balance because everything is abused.
I love being pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen. On some
Yeah, it's
intimate
good.
level, I love that. You know, kids are a pain in the neck, but there's a part of me that loves that. But yet, I can also hang drywall or change the alternator in my car. So those are things that culturally and our civilization has ingrained into us that we're supposed to be a certain way. And of course, a lot of it follows the ley lines of the slave matrix,
Mm.
and a
Yeah,
lot
the
of
ley
it
lines.
follows the ley lines of child trafficking. It follows the ley lines of a lot of things that we're
So
supposed to be in a girdle on methamphetamine, enjoying being pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen. And it doesn't quite line up that way. So, by honoring our true feminine and masculine divine qualities once and for all, that should
yeah,
balance out a
and
bit.
the healthy ones, and then we should take care of the one who are damaged. She said because they are damaged. It's very, very important that we take care of them because if the one who are not really, everybody is damaged in a way, everyone, and like yeah, you transform like so a lot of people here they're transformed so much above their suffering, and they became this. They're very strong, and then you're the best for your environment. And being happy is the best you can do. You that's what you said. You be joyful. If you cannot be joyful, it's part of the light is being joyful. She said, and then if you and the suffering you have to witness. I mean, you should not. Yeah, like ascetic. Don't get involved emotionally because you get drowned. Because then they get you. If you get totally emotional, and even some people are too much hurt, you have to protect them. But if you're not, you don't get emotional. You try to because otherwise they drag you. That's what they want. That's what the evil wants. They want to get you angry and all those negative emotions, and then you become a part of them, and that's very
Yes,
important.
in a state of fear.
Yeah, in a state of fear.
And
Yes.
suffering oftentimes isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's
No.
usually it's a lot of people's trigger to move on to their
Yes.
higher selves, to their
Yeah.
spirituality,
Yeah.
to start seeking. So many
Yeah.
people are on autopilot, and then once they hit that suffering stage, that's when they start seeking.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Most of the people they
Yeah,
really
tell me more
lived so
about that.
much higher when they suffered. When you go through a difficult process in your life with a divorce, or you lose your wife or your husband or a child, those people they immediately go so much higher in spirituality most of the time because they find a kind of strength in themselves. And what I don't know, there is the story of Anneke Lucas. She was a sex slave from her birth till she was 16, I think. And it was on CE, evolution, yeah, collective evolution. They have that. And she said the children who were like extremely tortured, and the children they said to her, I mean, she said there's a part in that she mentions they said, we are not afraid, but there is a light within us. And a divine, they could call, I mean, I don't know if they call it Jesus, but there is a very light, and he will, when we die, we will go there. And my guru Shri Mataji said, children who suffered ultimately, they immediately go to the heavens. When they're tortured, like those children, they go right away to the heavens. Right? Yeah.
Since
Yes.
everything boils
Yeah,
down
that's
to
nice. I
sound
mean,
and
that's a
light.
kind of soothing because they suffered already so much, so they go
It
to yeah.
basically it's how well you've learned to master the manipulation of sound and light at the time of your death. And then I think we just probably keep coming back until we're able to, you know, I call it surf the silver wave, or to travel from 4D to 5D. Obviously, 3D is a place where we go where we actually think that our feelings are affecting, you know, something about our actual life. And you know, emotions are the only thing that are strictly physiological. Without your physiological body, you will not experience emotions. So I believe that we can assume that we don't have emotions when we die,
Yes,
quote
yes.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Thoughts and memories are actual light and sound frequencies that have formed a permanent reality for you and probably other people. So those are
Yeah.
things that can maintain in our vibration without a physical body, because that's what's remaining is the vibration of the light
Yeah,
and sound
that's true.
frequencies
And that's why
that
it's
form.
important to die in peace, kind of, because then you're already in a higher level.
Yeah.
But if people are tortured, they get the help of angels. The angels really, she said, the angels are there to help them. They are really angels, like we know. That, I mean, like children that have that like tremendous suffering. The light brings them. I mean, the angels. Not they cannot. I mean, they cannot. They're innocent. I mean, nobody did to their suffering. So the suffering is done to them. There will be, and I mean, when she told that, it's kind of very soothing, because the child, they get healed immediately
Yes.
by. So, but of course,
Well,
it does not
that's
take
what they're
away our
hoping to.
responsibility to stop it, because that's our responsibility to stop the
To
suffering.
shine the light on the dark.
Yes, that's our responsibility. Yeah, and I
To
think
tell
it
the
will
truth.
stop. Yeah, it will stop. I think. I believe we're going in a good direction. I don't know. The next few years might be very rough, but there's so many solutions are all over there. Like, I mean, like there solutions enough. Solutions are there. Only the darkness has to. The power of the dark has to go away. That's it.
Yes, there's got to be destruction before there's
Yeah,
new
that's true.
beginnings.
Yeah, and she said, if we support dark, I mean the wrong things, we're complicit.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
if you put, yeah, like this, I saw that video now, because from that Australian woman who was pregnant, and she got, by the police, she got taken away because she didn't wear a mask. And then the person who spoke there, like, it was really awful. And he said, yeah, if we consent and even in wearing a mask, we actually consent in negativity. And that's only one light thing. So we should not
Exactly.
consent. Because
So
then next,
many little choices all throughout the day, you know, where
yeah.
we're either consenting or we're not.
Yeah, and you can tell. You said, today I went to the shop again, say, no, I don't wear a mask. I did it. They ask most of the time nobody asks, but yeah, sometimes they do say, no, I don't wear a mask. Whatever I say, I don't. And then they let you, but yeah, in Belgium, the people are not, yeah, they're very shy. So they're hardly dare to ask, why don't you wear a mask? So they're very shy. It's a bit easier here. I don't know if I knew it, but actually, if you don't wear it, you're the example. And they look at you, and actually, there were some women that said, I also don't want to wear a mask, but we have to. Say, no, you don't have to. Don't do it. Don't. And even in the law, it says in the royal decision, there's a royal decision paper, and it says, if you wear a mask, it's illegal, because we cannot recognize you. You could be a thief.
Yes.
It's illegal. I can sue you. Actually, we can sue you, people who wear a mask. It's like that. Then I can print it out, so I can keep it in my purse. So if they say, no, you have to wear a mask, I can show it. So we don't have to wear a mask. And our children in school, the day in Belgium, some child came, he didn't wear a mask, and then some people followed. So if one dares, other people follow.
Yes.
So there is always one leader. I mean, a little bit, a leading example, because we cannot expect that others do it for us. It's like the hero. We have to be a little bit hero. Some are big hero-like, some are little heroes. But we can do the simple things we can do by ourselves.
It's just it's courage to do the right thing. Courage of having the,
practicing
your convictions.
Yeah, it's true, and you have to just say it. It's and I think how more you are courageful, you feel you're doing something good, and you get the help also.
Hmm.
I believe that. Energy wise, like the date is there behind you if you do something good. If you do it in an aggressive way, no, I don't think so. I mean, we're not supposed to
Yes,
be aggressive.
there's a right and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah, true. I know when I'm aggressive, it doesn't work. If I get angry, I know I get more reaction. But if I can say friendly, no, I don't wear a mask, and this is the reason why I don't wear a mask. It is okay. They don't, because otherwise you create again like tension. You should not take.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
Yes.
it is a simple thing, but there are difficult things. I will not say. I don't know. Like, yeah, to really, yeah. If you go after those people who are child trafficking, that's a heroic thing, I think, because they get all the black powers against them, and the black magic also. You know
Hmm.
what is good to keep black magic out of your house, whatever. If you don't know, some people might wish you bad things. It's also black magic. If you wish bad things to people, it's very simple. You have to keep garlic around
E-
you,
Even to
onion.
think that bad thoughts.
Yes,
Even to
actually.
think bad thoughts about other people, even if you don't speak it, just
Yeah,
that's a
true.
poison to yourself.
Yeah, it's a poison. Yes.
You need to
Yeah.
ask yourself, why are you having these thoughts?
Yes. As introspection all the time. You need to introspect. Just be, yeah. You have to wish the best for everyone and be an example. And sometimes it's difficult because yeah, you still fall. I mean,
And
it's
I
not so
think that's what
easy.
we should, the biggest thing we should be teaching our kids is self introspection. It's
Yeah.
to learn how to do that, to learn how
Yeah.
to self introspect. Because, I mean, we have a whole population of adults running around with the mindset emotionally of adolescents.
Yeah. It's
No
true.
self introspection. And like Ty says, outsourcing the blame,
Yeah,
outsourcing the blame
true.
for
Yeah.
everything.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. I know. I mean, every day I think I'm getting a bad thought or I'm not good. And I think, okay, don't blame. I should take your own responsibility. For me, it's like I want to have, yeah, in our house, it's not always organic. And then I get so irritated. No, I want everything organic. When I think, okay, now I do it for myself. They don't have to do it. It's not my responsibility. So I'm
Hmm.
okay. And maybe you get some, maybe they push you a little back, yeah, but that's not collective and you are on your own. But it's my choice. So I can say, okay, I want to eat fully organic. And you don't have to, but I want to. So I have to it's also respecting myself. I want to do it because I know because I've now skin problem and I can see and I'm more tired in the morning. Yeah, I sleep too less also. But most of the time I don't need so much sleep. But if you eat bad, or if you start eating more bad, then you need more sleep. Anyhow,
Hmm.
then I think, okay, it's my responsibility to eat organic. It's not their responsibility, and it's not my responsibility to say you have to eat organic. So I have to leave them their choice, and I leave them my choice, and then I'm in peace with myself, and I can be more in peace with them. It's like that, and maybe
Exactly.
sometimes, oh yeah, it's not always easy because we blame each other more, and I think okay. But it's good that we talk about it because then I think about it.
Exactly. It makes us hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah, that's what you also said. You need to communicate all the time. You people, especially in India, they talk all the time. But I mean, Belgium, not in America, they talk more. But in Belgium, we don't. You said you never talk. You need to communicate. Your heart closes when you don't communicate. Your heart, you need to communicate. Even you open your heart more by talking and by. That's yeah. You said if people.
Discourse.
Yeah.
Discourse is how we evolve. The back
Yeah.
and forth. That's how we learn.
Yes. And that's the thing we have to learn to do. And
But
for me, it's
again, a
difficult.
lot of people don't know how to have discourse without
No,
getting
it's true.
into their feelers, their emotions, and then they get mad and this and
Yeah.
that, and it turns into arguments and
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and that's because you don't say something
or
you want to
meltdowns.
say. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, actually, you build emotions in yourself when you keep things in.
Hmm.
And and actually we have to learn to talk everything. Okay, I feel like this, or I think maybe we should this, or maybe we should do that, and maybe you get a no, but it's better that you speak it out and you come and then not, because then you build too much emotions, and then you get societies with fighting, because their mind is full of things which they didn't, communicate with others or something, and we are in peace with ourselves, even if we don't need to be agreeable with everyone, but we can be more at peace with ourselves when we say, I said what I had to say. Whether how the outcome is, I cannot predict. And it's actually life is like that. It's not. It would be dull if you would know the outcome.
Right.
That's a safety. Like keep your mask on, keep inside. Everything super safe is actually dead.
Safety is an illusion. It's not real.
It is. Saving grandmama when you make your smoothies. That's how you save grandmama. My smoothie is for your protection, not my own.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So anyhow, it's just telling and communicating is very important. And feeling safe is, of course, important, and the environment should be safe. That's why it's so important for children to have safe environments.
To be able to communicate, what they feel. I think we impose our beliefs and our ideologies on our kids and try to force them to think like we do or behave like we do. And a lot of the times we don't listen to them. We quiet them, like quit back talking, this or that.
We
need to take time and actually listen to them.
Yeah.
And explain to them. They understand and comprehend a whole lot more than we realize.
Oh yeah.
If we sit there and explain things to them.
Oh yeah, and they have so much more wisdom sometimes. I think, oh my God, I didn't see it like that. Oh my God.
Yes.
It's
amazing.
Child's
innocent wisdom is lots to be said for. Sometimes it's a bit out there. Without the experience, but yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's and then if we talk too much over the child, if a child gets silent, something is wrong. Children should be openly and happy and joyful. And if not, then you need to approach them and try to find out what it is.
And even big children, youth.
Yes.
All the kids who were out in the street burning down the cities and the other side, the white nationalists. A problem with a child.
Where's their parents?
Well, we are. Right? So a problem with young people is us. Like they are a symptom of what's wrong with us. And the only reason kids are out there doing crazy, stupid stuff, burning stuff and fighting with police is because we have not done our job collectively. We failed. We completely failed. Yeah. And we need to look at the symptom of our own ignorance. See, see, he agrees.
I have a dog.
That's Crystal's dog. And Crystal, you got a little schmutz on your camera, girl. You got a little booger or something that schmutz right there on your little screen. There you go. There you go. Yeah. All right.
I thought it was the light
there. You know, my camera's cracked. I think that's part. I think that's.
Is it? Okay. I was thinking that might have been a little boogie. It's a little droplet that kind of droplet trying to infect.
I can rise above it.
Yeah. No, I thought
rise above it.
Yeah, Chris, I thought it's the light coming out of you, like pure light.
Yeah, it's my light.
To live is to take risk, exactly. Yeah, you have to go for it. And I'm on.
My pizza is for risk. See, the smoothie is to save grandmama, and my pizza is I'm living. I'm taking my risk.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's but it's interesting, and the kids, we should really save the kids. That's like you said, if we can't save the kids, we will not be saved either.
Yeah,
it's simple.
I think this homeschooling, this mass homeschooling, is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of kids are going to fall behind, but behind of what? Where's that line? You know, we're not teaching them the essentials now.
Yeah.
I think it's something like a first grader can recognize something like 1,000 logos, 1,000 brand logos, but can't name 10 different plants. That's
it's crazy. Yeah.
that's like really backwards. We're human. We're part of this ecosystem. We need to know how to survive, how to be self-sufficient. We've gotten so far beyond that. Now we're at where we're at because of that.
Yeah.
Because of our dependency on government. We've given them all the power, and now they can do whatever we want because we're dependent on them.
Yeah, it is just like that. That's why we should really, really learn everything about what is eatable in the wild too. Because that's the warning of my guru. If you don't know your herbs or your earth, I cannot save you. I mean, I'm just telling you, make sure you know what is eatable. And that's and she said it especially as warning, so I know what is coming. I mean, know what is coming. That is
I know how to use it. So I know that zucchini is edible. I know it's easy for monkeys to grow, so I grow a bunch of it. And I put some of mine in my smoothie this morning. This is a zucchini smoothie.
Oh, yeah. And it's so, rich. And how do you do it with coconut milk? It's white.
This is coconut. I have a base. My base is either almond milk, coconut milk, avocado, banana, and as long as I get those three, I can put anything in here I want, and I really don't taste it. Like, that's the base. And then so there's romaine lettuce in here. There's other mixed lettuce. I picked a zucchini this morning because I can't keep up with it, but I broke off the tip of it, and I was like, it's gonna go bad, so I just chopped it up, threw it in here, and
good.
And save grandmama. That's that last step is save grandmama, and then putting the mask on ain't nowhere in that conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think everybody knows that by now. I mean, I cannot believe they don't know it. So, like the mask thing, it's so stupid. So, anyhow.
It's tribal.
Will and I, we make smoothies every day. Well, he makes me a smoothie every day. We put avocado, banana, spinach, apple, whatever berries we have, whatever's on sale, usually strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and then whatever else kind of fruit's starting to go bad, we'll throw that in the smoothie too. We don't use any type of milk or anything though. And then just add a little bit of water, and they're good.
I use many times. Yeah, I use many times oat milk too, because I know for me oat milk is good for my guts, and then and I throw everything in it too,
you can actually just pour a little bit, a little half a cup of dry oatmeal in with the smoothie, and that, if you want it thick and fill it, something to fill you up.
Yeah, it fills a lot because if it's so much smoothie, it fills you totally. You don't need more, and you have everything in its whole, so you have enough grease also, because grease is also important. Because if people avoid kind of grease, it does do damage on your brain. You should like nuts are very important, and everything. Some oily things are important too. Yeah, avocado is also because I know my guru says if you eat people who are just constant on a diet, like a diet like from the books, like they get damage of their brain. So it's very important to keep everything whole.
And then people who don't diet, who don't watch their what they're eating or eating McDonald's cheeseburgers, they get damage of the brain too.
Yeah, also, all of them,
Goes both ways.
Yeah.
And they try to tell me that I need to wear a mask to protect them. And I'm saying, no, you need to put down the Big Mac. You need to put down the mixed shake, the fries,
Exactly.
the fries, all that crap that's making you grow diseases and flus and bacteria in you, and you're going to put them on me. No. You got this backwards. And that's I agree with the people who are anti-universal health care. Right? A lot of them
Yeah, me too.
This isn't healthcare. You don't get to drink Coca-Cola, eat pie every night and Twinkies for breakfast and make me pay for what's going to happen. It's like you said with the gods. Sometimes you got to let them hurt themselves. You got to walk away from the children, let them get their diseases, hurt themselves. It's the only way that they will learn. And so I am more of an offhand health system person. Like, listen, here's some land, go and grow your food. If you don't want to, keep eating at McDonald's, and you get sick and almost die and learn. Every funeral for me is an education session.
Back to that suffering. And they'll start suffering physically before they learn.
Yes, true.
Funeral, I look in the casket and I'm like, look at that. See what you did to yourself? See, I told you. Remember all the time? I sent you the book. Remember the book? I sent you the China study. Remember the links I sent you? You wanted to fuss with me and argue with me about what's healthy. And guess what? Look where you're at now. You can't even rebuttal, can you? Because you all in that nice cushy thing with all that and everybody crying, right? You say, I ain't crying, right? You say, I ain't crying. See, I'm sad that you're gone. I love you, but you put yourself in there.
Yeah.
That's true.
You put yourself in there.
Yeah, it's true. Because in Belgium, there is healthcare, but the things I use is like alternative medicine, and it's homeopathy and even herbalist. That's never paid back, but they don't ask a lot. So good. So, but you need to have it because otherwise you can't work. But I don't work now anyhow. But if I break my bones, I need to go to a hospital anyhow. So that's the only thing I keep assurance, because if I break my bones, but it's very little. It's like $15 a month I have to pay.
Did somebody tell me about Nightshade? Tell me about Nightshade.
Nightshade. Potatoes are Nightshade. Tomatoes are Nightshade.
Eggplants, Nightshade. And I think it has to do with the lectins that's in the skin.
So what is Nightshade and why? Because I know tomatoes are. I know I'm just saying I'm supposed to cut that back, and somebody just posted. I think it was Jeannie. So what is Nightshade, and why should we limit it, or should we be trying to avoid it altogether?
No, I think the pH. It's if you have too less alkaline, then it's what I think. I remember is then it brings it down. The pH goes negativity. But when you have the other thing too much, you have negative and positive. Then you have to balance it. You can balance it with nightshades.
Some people don't handle nightshades well. Now, I think if you peel the nightshades, like if you peel the tomatoes before you cook them, or the potatoes or eggplant, then it's supposed to reduce the amount of lectins, so you'd be able to handle it.
And
it's
and if you use
like the same thing as soaking your beans before you eat them.
True.
To get rid of that outer protective layer.
And put some salt on it. Put some salt on it. It takes the the acid out of it. If you eat eggplant and you first cut it and you put salt on it, then there's a lot of water coming out, and you throw that away, and then you bake it or you fry it or whatever you want to do with it. And then it's okay. It's just But if you eat too much those plants, too much raw. I like tomato raw. Then it might give a negative balance to your pH, I think. But some people can't handle it, but I can. I mean, I don't. But I don't like eggplant so much. I mean, maybe fried, I like it. I like the little tomatoes best. I can eat them as candies. They're so sweet, the little tomatoes. I eat them as candies. I like potatoes. I like them. So...
I love potatoes. I love all of it.
Yeah, I love vegetables, all vegetables actually. That's one,
Me too. I've been that way since I was a kid.
that's good. Yeah.
My
Also,
son's that way now. He'll
I used to
go in
hate
there
vegetables.
and eat a whole box of tomatoes or blueberries as a snack.
yeah.
Always, he'll eat ever since he was little, he'd take an apple over a cookie any day.
Wow.
Oh, that's just horribly healthy. You're raising a human child.
Well,
Stop that.
that was
No,
when he was a little
I hate
younger.
it.
He'll be 13 in January, and now I think he'll take that cookie over the apple. But
Well,
Yeah.
that's the funny part. Like I think back to when I was a kid. It was like when I was a kid, I wanted the candy. You ain't coming at me with no apple. You coming at me with an apple,
yeah,
banana, I'm gonna spit it in your face. No, I didn't play that. But the reason why is because our parents didn't know that all that food had that food chemistry in it. Right? They took the healthy compounds out of healthy food, the apple, and put it in the candy. And so when you eat candy, your body's saying, ooh, this is an apple, eat more of this, right? You get those endorphin responses. And so it sounds like you did the right thing with your son. If you don't abuse them with cookies, cakes, pies, candy too much, their body doesn't get reprogrammed to think that unhealthy things are the healthy things. But eventually they're going to grow up and they're going to start eating all that other stuff. But yeah, when I was a kid, no, you could not with no fruit. No, fruit's waste of time. Yeah, tasty cake was my fruit as a child.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. My parents had we had a garden and a vegetable garden, and my mother, she baked, and we didn't get so much candy because we were with eight. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters, so my mother didn't bought candies in the shop. She did everything from home. We had our veggies from home, and very little bit meat because meat was costly. So we didn't spoil our health so much because we couldn't. We don't like. But she baked waffles, and so yeah, I like waffles. She baked waffles. That's what she did, and she made cakes. But we didn't get candy from the shop. We didn't get it. But when I was
I think I lived off of candy and vegetables and fruit when I was a kid. I didn't like meat. I would cry when my mom would try to give me meat. I'm like, the poor animal, and I'm still that way.
I didn't care.
It's good.
Kill it. Put some barbecue sauce on it. Let's eat it. I would have eaten a chipmunk if I could have caught it.
I remember when I found out that hamburgers were made from cows. Like, I just had a meltdown. I lost it. I couldn't believe people were eating cows. And, yeah.
Oh no, I love this because hamburgers, they came from Ronald McDonald. He had a magical way of making hamburgers.
That's where I thought they came from.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald. Yeah, that's where hamburgers came from. And you get toys. You get a Happy Meal. You get a toy.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
And
the marketing.
Yeah. And kids want that. I mean, yeah. If they see that, then yeah. It's like, yeah. They have their way to seduce the kids to get their meals eaten. Yes, they do. Yeah, when I was in America, so I didn't have so much choice to eat what I wanted to eat. I gained, I think, 8 kilo. I don't know how much pounds that is. 8 kilo is a lot, eh? I gained 8 kilo. It took me, yeah. And then I thought, no, I have to stop because I was there for a long time. So no, now I eat only my things. I cannot eat what you old guys eat because I was really, yeah. And I couldn't go to the bathroom like for 4 days.
It makes you feel bad.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, it was so bad. But then, yeah, I said, no, I have to eat my own thing. Also like that. So you have to. So I started to eat, let me eat my vegetables and my things, and you eat your things. I cannot eat your food.
Yes.
It's not good for me. So, okay.
I know when I've been eating bad, I feel bad. I just don't like the way I feel. And it's almost instant, too.
Yeah, you feel.
As soon as I get done eating, I'm like, ugh. And I'll feel like that for a few, couple of days. Like, gosh, why do I do that to myself?
Yeah. 70.6 pounds. Is that 8 kilo? 70.6 pounds. So I gained 8 kilo. So I lost it by now, but it was a lot. I mean, I never was. I'm just from naturally. I'm not easy gaining weight from nature. But then in America, I saw, oh my God, if I stay there 20 years, I can roll me. And I told, so yeah, when I have to fly home, I have to reserve 2 seats on the plane. They were laughing, of course. So no, but then I said, no, let's eat here healthy too. Like, you can eat everywhere healthy if you want to. So, and I did a little garden with the children. I started the garden with the children. That was fun. So we had tomatoes, we had basil, we had the sage, and we had celery. I did that with the children, and I loved it so much. And then we had little chickens too. Very nice. So, and then that's so nice when you can go in the nature. I took them out and I learned about the frogs, about everything, and it's fun. It's really nice. And that should be oh yeah. I think the school should be half teach outside and half inside. In the winter it's maybe too cold, but even maybe not. You can clothe yourself warm. We went every day for a walk in the morning before school started. Go for a walk with the children. Come on, children, put your coats on. You're going for a walk before you go in the classroom, because otherwise, yeah, they need to move. Yeah, it was nice. And in the afternoon also we went. We tried to move a lot with them and let them play a lot, and that was good. So, okay.
Yeah, kids naturally, when you put them in nature, they'll naturally play and explore.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, we almost lost one child. Oh my God, I was so nervous. Then, where is the child that didn't? And I was responsible. Where is him? Where is where is Adam? Where is Adam? Where is he? Where is he? Oh no, he's not with you. He's not with you. Where is he? And I was, oh no! And I thought, oh my God, don't panic. And he was very curious, like children are. And he went on the road, and he was already I was running on the road, and he was already a whole part away, and then there was a truck driver, and he was talking to a truck driver, and I had my, oh no, and I run. And then the truck driver told me, I would just ask the child where he lived, and I told him to get in the truck, but he didn't want to go in the truck because he said, my mommy told me not to go in a car with someone. So yeah, but I was so happy. Yeah, it was good. But I think
stranger danger.
Yeah, oh my God. That was a relief when I found him. Oh my God. I could not imagine if he was lost. Oh. So anyhow, you have to keep your eyes, because they wander, they go everywhere. And there was like 15 kids, 15 little kids. They go every direction if you're not alert enough. But anyhow, so that went well on the end. So
good.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, nice. Cauliflower is my favorite, actually. I love cauliflower. Cauliflower, carrots.
Cauliflower.
I like it with tomatoes. Cauliflower and Indian, I make it Indian way. I do it with Indian herbs, onion, and then haldi, kind of the yellow turmeric, and then kumit seed and other Indian herbs. And I fry the herbs first. First, you have to do the herbs to get. They have to suck the taste from the vegetables, and then you do the cauliflower, and then you do Thai pesto, like very spicy Thai. And then
sounds good.
Yeah, and then you do tomatoes with it. You cut tomatoes little pieces, and then you do coconut milk, and then you do a little bit soya sauce, and it's very yummy. I love it. And then you do chickpeas. Chickpeas you can also use, and then you have a whole meal.
No,
I do cabbage with cauliflower mixed together and potatoes with some chopped up onions and garlic. Oh, it's so good. It's one of my favorites.
Indian food saved me. When I went vegetarian, the only culture I could find that made delicious vegetables every single time was Indian. I love
Yeah.
Indian food.
Yeah, me
With
too.
what?
Indian food.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
yummy.
yes.
Oh, I
It's
love it.
satiating too. Something about the different herbs, I guess, is maybe what helps
Yeah.
with
A lot of herbs.
satiation. It
Well,
feels like you're getting a meal instead of just rabbit food.
that's what one of my sons says. He says that, I mean, he wants to feel, he uses the word savor, feel satisfied after a meal. And maybe that is why Indian food is so satisfying, because they're so very liberal with herbs, and they get a lot of different compounds and minerals and everything in there. And when you eat it, your body is satisfied.
Yeah,
From
exactly.
being full, but it makes you feel full because you got a wide range of compounds, minerals, vitamins, and everything from all the herbs, maybe.
Yeah,
I eat
exactly.
a meal of herbs
Exactly.
just
I feel
about
the
every
same.
day.
Yeah, because then you don't feel, I don't need any kind
Eating
of
herbs.
sweet when I eat Indian food. I can be very, very pure. I'm totally satisfied, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And you keep so light. You're so light, and that's why they can meditate also so well, because they're light. They're light. They don't have the heaviness of the Western food, so
Yes.
it's more easy to meditate.
Here's a
When
good
you're
question.
light, you're of the light.
Good question. Food conspiracy. Did they modify Western food to actually make us sick, fat, unhealthy, diseased, or was it just one big accident?
I think it started off not as a conspiracy, but it kind of evolved into it with the GMOs and that other sort of stuff, just putting different chemicals. You know, why do they need aborted fetal tissue in food?
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Yeah.
The company Sinomics, it's under natural flavors, and if you look on the ingredients on just about anything, it says natural flavors on it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is, but you can't say it's not either.
No,
it's just absurd to me. Like,
it's really absurd.
How sick in your mind do you have to be to even think that that's an option? To put that in food.
That's That's our body. Yeah.
I said that's why I asked, because it's just like, who sits down and thinks, hey, I got an idea. Let's take some bugs, let's find some bacteria, let's take their poop out, and it makes this stuff called aspartame, and let's put that in food, right?
Yeah.
Like, who comes up and so
in that idea,
Well, when I think about it, and it could have just been, it was just a thing of, it was what sold, they accidentally discovered it, but it grew into a conspiracy. At a certain point in time, there was a decision made, right? That said, you know what? We know glyphosate is a poison. We know it's a carcinogen. We know with the original patent they filed, it was an antibacterial, but we don't give two damns about our people. We're going to go ahead and subsidize that. We're going to pay farmers to grow it and spray it all over all their food and make it the cheapest thing in the grocery store. At a certain point in time, it either began with a low vibe, spiritual, dark energy, I know this is going to break people thing, or or evolve. But it's just weird. It's weird that they keep it in. But it's
true. Because the body is the temple of the soul, actually. It's so important that we keep our temple nice and clean. It's like
I mean, they've basically turned all of us into cannibals in some form or another at some point. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's really, you don't.
And then it makes you wonder what's in, McDonald's meat.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard rumors that they found dead bodies or human DNA in the meat. I can't prove that. But I wouldn't discredit it either.
I don't doubt it. You know what? I used to like the Ultimate Whopper because as a kid, I eat a lot of Whoppers. Love that. And I recently stopped with the Ultimate Whopper. Like, to me, it's a good transitional food. It's not something you should eat all the time. Me, I'll eat poison every now and then. But now I don't even tell people that the Ultimate Whopper is a good transition food because I know I'm going to get it wrong, but they take the genetically modified soy and take something from it that is red, and they cultivate it in dishes.
Some type of hemoglobin.
The blood, it's like GMO hemoglobin with glyphosate, whatever, poison, and they put it in the burger because it either looks or tastes like blood.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
so,
we're not going
before I knew what was in that Impossible burger, the Impossible brand meat and stuff, I just had heard about the Whopper, the Impossible Whopper, so I tried it. I ate about half of it. Oh my God, my stomach hurts so bad. I don't think I ate for like 2 days after that. It was bad, really bad.
It is bad. Yeah, I did after a long time ago.
You're better off just eating the real thing, just eating a real Whopper. That's the case.
No, once I ate after a long time, by coincidence, a fish burger from McDonald's. Oh my God, my stomach, it was pain, and me and my friend, it was so much pain. Oh my God. It was like the weirdest thing. Oh, yeah, it stays good for 10 years. I saw that the women, did you see that video? She took a hamburger out of a coat. It was for several years. It was still the same.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All the preservatives and just.
Yeah. I wonder the bodies who get buried and ate only those kind of food, they must be still totally preserved in the earth or what? Yeah.
I mean, I'm really thinking in the next 20 years, we're really going to be seeing the effects of the modern diet. I guess we already are. Heart disease being the leading cause of death.
Yeah.
And not able to have get open heart surgery and get stunts put in their arteries to just keep blood flowing through. But they don't want to change their diet. They think that's radical. But open heart surgery is not radical.
It's so illogical. Yeah, and I think like so many people cannot have children nowadays. It's like I think 1 in 3. I read in a magazine. I read 1 in 3 cannot have children. That's a lot.
Yes, that's scary.
In the Western world for sure. It's like
a lot of that's just the extra added hormones in people's diets, and then it makes you wonder, well, is it just the diet? Is it the vaccines? I mean, I'm sure it's probably a culmination of all of it.
Yeah, I wonder actually why we're still alive. I think
exactly. I really wonder. I mean, what the human body can go through is quite amazing because we're being poisoned from every direction.
Yeah. That's true. It's like
water, EMF, vaccines, drugs, like all of it is poison. All of it is it is definitely a testament to the strength of the human body. These machines are freaking amazing. They can live on a planet with the CDC and the WHO. They literally can defy Democrats and Republicans and all the ways they poison grandma while they pretend like they're trying to help grandma. These bodies are amazing.
Yeah, they're really extremely strong, and it adjusts always, I think, and that's why I think our energy, we are not only matter, the energy in our meditation makes us always stronger too. I believe that too. It's not only by food, but like we take other food in, like I think that's very important too.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, it's a trinity, like Just
Yeah,
like
there were.
most God aspects, or as a Trinity, we are physically a Trinity with the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Like that triangle
Yes, true.
behind you, Christine.
I what?
I
A
said like that
triangle.
triangle behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually the triangle is the divine. In the middle there is the goddess, and then there on you don't see it so much, but yeah, it's a triangle with a crystal in the middle, and then they have the three lines. The line that's going right to the divine goddess, and then the mind that there are three channels: the channel of the creativity, and the channel of the emotions, and they come together in the middle, and then they go to the divine line.
They go up.
They go up, and then that's actually the feminine. Actually, the basic of creation is feminine, because feminine create. God is, as she said, at the Big Bang is Shiva and feminine energy of Shiva. Shiva as a whole, they separated. So the divine and the masculine and the feminine divine, they separated, and then there was the Big Bang, and then
the birthing.
and then the divine feminine started to create all those the planets, the solar systems, and she is the creation, and the power who behind her is the masculine power, but she creates and he backs her up. The feminine always creates, and the man is the one who is backing, is behind her to protect her. That should be like that. And the feminine creates, and then it's all the creation. Yeah, and that's why
protects her to create.
Yes. And then the feminine nourishes. Mother Earth is feminine, and then also in the planets are feminine planets. They are masculine planets. Everything is feminine and masculine, but they work together. So, like
to create balance.
To create balance, yes.
And maybe one of the Hermetic principles. It says there's gender in everything.
Yes. And when everything comes,
gender in everything.
Yeah.
And there's apple pie and everything.
Yeah, yummy.
And everything. It's supposed to be apple pie. Y'all saw me. The evidence is I just drank the smoothie. People deny it all the time. See how much is left? I sat there the whole thing on the camera, and now I'm eating my apple pie. And yes, I will gloat a little bit because I'm eating the apple pie, but everything in balance. When you actually get your body working right, you then have the ability, you're saving grandmama to eat the apple pie.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, you can eat. No, but you have to eat. I mean, you cannot suppress it. I like pie too. I make my own pie. I made a very good pie with very little crust. And on the pie, I did the blackberries with bananas, and I mixed them. And I put no chocolate and a little bit cream, like creamy, whipped cream. And I mixed it, and I put it on the little crust, and it's very yummy, very, very yummy. And it's a lot of vitamins. And you can do cocoa milk. Cocoa milk is even better. Cocoa milk, blackberries, and banana, you mix them, and you can even drink it as smoothie. And but I made a pie of it, so I let it cook, and then it became thick. So
sounds good. I'm eating herbs right now, but y'all are making me want pie.
Me too, though.
Lori!
Yeah. Hi. So, Lori, what is your diet? Of what do you eat?
What do I eat? I eat mostly vegetarian, but I do eat some meat. I eat very little, but I do eat it sometimes.
Yeah, I ate this weekend. I went to the ostrich farm, and ostrich is the big bird, and that meat that's not totally clean, lean meat. They cannot have hormones, nothing. It's totally clean. And the boys here, they ate a lot of meat, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy in that farm some meat, very clean, and I made a big pot of a meat stove pot. with a lot of vegetable in. And actually it was very yummy. And I tasted it too, and it was very yummy, and I thought this is healthy meat. Because I don't trust any kind of meat because what is processed, and then the chickens, what they do with the chickens, and oh my God.
Disgusting.
And I know the animals from that farm, they were in a big meadow, they're free, they're very taking good care, so I know they're happy animals.
Right.
That makes a difference, yeah.
I got a freezer full of deer meat because my son-in-law bow hunts.
Oh,
so
nice.
Get shot in there, like the old native ways or indigenous peoples all over the world. So that's really good. I don't eat it that much. That's why it'll last like, I don't even know how much we get, like part of a deer, and it lasts a year for me and my granddaughter. So, you know, and then there's a place that sells lamb, halal lamb. So halal in Muslim tradition is lovingly raised lambs, and then they kill them and drain all the blood and do it nicely, I guess, to kill something. So that it's kind of like beef, you know, halal meat. So there's a place that sells that, little chunks of it in a rice curry dish. Is delicious, but yeah.
Yummy. Yeah, whatever is not processed is still good, I think. But even meat, I think the Native Americans, they have no, I mean, they were hunters, but they had good quality of meat. But we don't need it because we don't need, I mean, it's everything, a vegetarian diet is, it's much more environment friendly. Like all the cows, all the,
Yeah, it is. And I was going to tell you why I'm vegetarian, because now everybody went through all their meat stories. And you eating ostriches. Don't let the Americans know. You eat that ostrich, you keep that to yourself, girl. You just put your barbecue sauce and whatever you're going to do, eat that joker up, but don't tell the Americans. These people get upset about everything, literally. Now, you know, if I ever went back to eating meat, because it was an apocalypse and we had to form zombie squad teams and go out and hunt resources and stuff, it would be wild. Well, of course it would be, because it wouldn't be no grocery store, so 90% of Americans would die. But the point is that the healthiest meat is wild meat. The healthiest, you know, I used to eat, I had a friend who used to do a lot of deer hunting when I lived in Maryland, and he'd bring back venison ground beef, you know. And while it was a little bit gamey, it was very, very healthy. Like if you're going to eat an animal, you want to go to an ostrich farm where, you know, the ostriches run around doing ostrich thing. Their whole life, they live happy, you know, eat beef, you know, or meat. Definitely want venison, something wild goose. You want something that lives life. Because I think, and this came out of India when I first heard it. They said you want to eat things without complex emotions, mostly. But when you eat things with complex emotions, you want to make sure that they live a good life. You want to make sure that as best possible they die. So, you know, just to sometimes you get people in the vegan space and they have that dark vibing negative energy, or the vegetarians. The people who eat happy animals, I think, are pretty much in line from a spirituality perspective.
My guru also said you don't need to, I mean, you can eat meat, she said, but it has to be good quality. But she said also, like, if meat is a little bit increasing the aggressiveness in human beings. That's why the Western people are much more aggressive as the East, because the East diet is most of the time, for 90% it's vegetarian, because it's very hot there. They don't need meat to get warm in the winter or something like that. That's why they're a bit more peaceful. I mean, they can also be aggressive, but the Western, they just should eat 70% less meat. They can eat meat, she said, but surely 70% less. I mean, we don't need that much meat at all because, all the environment is too much focused on the meat industry. Anyhow, so, but it's not like black-white, she says, and even if you have very healthy meat, if you have really weak people, that's good for them to eat once in a while a piece of meat. Really weak people, but if you're weak, she said, if people are possessed, she said, then you need to eat meat because the meat will kill that possession, the spirit of the one who is possessed.
I was just thinking, like,
Ohio.
what?
The deer from Ohio have mad cow disease. That
no. Texas deer is cool, man. Texas deer is. But what Gerard was saying about the fear in the meat, what do we always talk about with the Luciferians? What do they love to drink?
Heck yeah.
Fear blood, adrenochrome. So if you're eating the meat where the animals have lived a shitty life, crammed together, fighting each other, not fed well, pumped with hormones, treated like shit.
You are what you eat.
Garbage in, garbage out, computer talk. So yeah,
mind explosion. You're just blowing something up here, Lori, because what is blood? Blood actually is in blood. Blood is vibration, right? Blood is everything else is. So whether you're talking about emotion, blood, flesh, it's all vibration. And if it's used, it's not on the right wavelength, it's stressed, you're eating that, you're definitely taking in all that negativity. And it's blowing my mind up right now. I'm thinking about it because we think of things in terms of matter too much. And matter doesn't really matter. It's the energy, it's the wavelength that's on.
Yeah, it's true. It's the energy.
There's an excellent book written about 100 years ago. I'll post the link afterwards. It's called Vegetarian and the Occult. Man, it's very enlightening, talking about how meat has that vibration.
I'm sorry, Crystal. He's funny. He's funny. I know. Look, Lori and Beaufort kind of like this. They're distance each other. Beaufort is funny. He just told you
funny is, I didn't even hear the dog. I'm so used to blocking it out. I'm a mom. I didn't block out anything.
You didn't hear anything, did you? No, you didn't. I used to be married. Half the time I can just tune somebody out and they don't even exist. Like, we're not even quantumly entangled. I hear nothing, which is a horrible thing to say, but that's American marriage and what it can do to you.
And,
I'm sorry.
And we did know, Gerard, that you said used to be.
Again?
We did note that you said used to be when you tuned her out.
Oh, yeah, I had to. But she had to tune me out, too. So it was a mutual thing. I mean, y'all know me. Just imagine for a moment. Fantasize you were married to me and your ears were like always bleeding. Like, they could never stop. See, the fun thing about me online is you can say, all right, you know what? I had enough. This is 4 hours. This is enough. You can just press the button, boop, and that's it. Imagine being married to me. You got to wake up in the morning. No, nobody needs that much pain in their life.
Okay.
Well, what was the name of the book again, Kristen?
It's called Vegetarian and the Occult. Occult just meaning hidden.
Right.
And it talks about the light vibrations and what you're taking in and the spirit of that animal and everything that animal's gone through and their DNA and basically you are what you eat and when you're vegetables as opposed to decaying flesh, and that's how they see it. It's good. I'll post the link afterwards.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds interesting.
There's flesh all in there. Y'all see that?
Yeah, vegetarian food.
Colonies of living creatures. I do this for my vegetarian, vegan friends. Like y'all see, there's hundreds of billions of little families and life children running around. They're playing soccer. They're all having fun. Little communities of life, and I'm just murdering all of them.
Let's see. Yeah, we all cannibals. We should only eat energy. I mean, only live from energy. Maybe some era it can be. I think maybe we don't need food within maybe 1,000 years or something. Could be.
Breatharian.
Yeah, but until then, love what you eat. And to me, as weird as I am, I think plants that are stressed out with glyphosate, I don't think they're vibrating correctly. I think they're like a vitamin, like like a size B battery, and it doesn't vibrate right. Like it cuts on and it goes off. It's like it's not. I was gonna make a joke. I'm gonna stop with that one right now.
Well, the glyphosate
if you love
prevents the plants. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying the glyphosate prevents the plants from absorbing a lot of the nutrients, a lot of the minerals from the soil that's already depleted.
Yeah, that's true.
Microbiology, so they're not even alive to share. Like it kills off the mycorrhizae fungi, and they have a symbiotic relationship. But I think it's just like animals. I think if you have free-range, happy tomatoes, you got this little bald brown guy that goes out there and talks to them every day and sings to them.
Yeah, they do.
They're happy.
Yeah, that's true.
They pick up
plants are happy. Yeah. They have also, she said, my guru says flowers are happy. She said, flowers? It's the first time she said flowers. Flowers was just flowers. No, flowers are happy. And they so the nature is made for human beings, actually, because we are actually the highest, or supposed to be the highest creation, but we act as the lowest creation. But we are supposed to be the highest creation. So, but plants, yeah. And everything is created for us, actually. But imagine the taste within 200 years back, like, and there must be so much more tastier, everything, like the veggies, the earth, the fragrance of the earth was so much stronger. The flowers are so much stronger from fragrance. But I think, when everything is...
Like in the wild, like when you go foraging, like Susan does all the time.
Yeah.
She doesn't take anybody else.
And you get those wild berries and those mushrooms, and how friggin' good does that taste,
Oh, nothing better than wild forage food, in my opinion.
Well, no, that's not true. The better thing is to have a friend who does that. And then makes pies, cookies, and delicious treats with them, and then teases everybody on the internet. She doesn't mail nobody no pie. She doesn't share no pie. She doesn't do any of that. She just
doesn't Susan live close to you, Gerard?
No, she's no distance, but she got these delicious looking pies. Oh, just the blackberries, just black is blue is black. Just look delicious, and wild asparagus. She made me plant asparagus. I've never grown asparagus before, but she was out like, oh, I found wild asparagus. She used wild asparagus.
Yeah, literally food everywhere.
Yeah, if you know where to look, that's true. There's literally food everywhere. It's important.
Don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, there has to be, because there are deer everywhere. There are chipmunks everywhere. These animals are finding food even in the neighborhoods where we destroy everything.
Yeah, actually, that's maybe we should watch the animals when the food is out of supplies. Let's follow the animals. That's how the native discovered their food. Actually, they watch their animals and the behavior of the animals, and that's how they find what is eatable, what is not eatable.
They
And
tell them you don't eat that stuff. Yeah.
I think we need to strap a camera to Susan or one of our. There are a lot of people who forage here too, not just Susan. I think they need to do foraging videos to help us.
Yeah, they should. I think so too. Yeah. Next video.
Not much.
I'll do a foraging video here soon. It's been 100+ degrees every day, so.
Oh, nice.
And dry, so there's not much growing right now. But in the next couple weeks,
yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
We actually got some rain. Like it rained all night last night, and it's nice and cool today for the first time in months.
Oh, nice. Here it's autumn. It's nice, and it's nice, a soft sun. So actually, I like it. But the evenings are cooler, much cooler. In the morning, it's like 9 or 7 degrees. It's very, very low for now. It's just after summer. But the day is still nice.
We're that vessel, not trash burner. That we're vessels. We are gods. We have these machines that are amazing, but we treat them like they're trash compactors. Right? It's like shoving toxins and poisons, and that may not even be what Miss Tree meant, but that's what I took from it. That's why live streaming was weird. You don't know what I mean, you just talk about it.
So, yeah.
So, Lori, how was your day? You saving lives over there?
Yeah, I've seen 4 patients today. I've got 1 more coming. So yeah, just doing my thing, my nurse thing.
And I know
did a tiny 4-minute daily earlier, so just watching when I can.
Very cool. And Christine, it's like 5 a.m. So I'm convinced she's a vampire. I don't think she's actually human. I think she flies around the different time zones and stuff, and she never sleeps. And Christ, I don't think she has a job, y'all. I don't think Christ has it. I think that she lives on the internet. She has the most
important job in the world. She is a mother and a homeschool teacher. She's got the job. She is a goddess.
This is true. But she's like, it's 100 degrees. I can't go outside. It's 100 degrees. I'm not going to go.
I never said that. I love 100 degrees.
Huh?
She's outside right now.
I know, but she's by the pool, Lori. She's under an umbrella by the pool, smoking cannabis and Chiba. She's happy. And around 100 degrees, Lori goes to work. It's 100 degrees, Christine, she put on that cape and she does that vampire thing. She goes, when it's 100 degrees, 110 degrees, I got to go to work. So I've never heard of this. It's 100 degrees. I can't make a video showing my friends how to survive till they all don't die. I've never heard of that.
No, I'm saying there's not much plants right now. You know, it's been really dry, so
droughty and hot. Yeah, even that we're like about 250 miles apart at me and Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
In the great state of Texas. So, yeah, it's been the same here. It's hot and balls and super duper humidity. So you walk outside and you're wet, like with sweat down here.
Before last night, it hadn't rained in like a couple months, so just dry weather.
Yeah, me too.
You think that GMOs are affecting wildlife?
Of course.
Yeah, I think so.
Of course. I mean, isn't it turning like the male frogs females and stuff? Something in the GMOs, or I guess that's the glyphosate. So. I guess that's the glyphosate.
I thought that was the cannabis.
Cannabis.
Isn't that what McCain said? Cannabis makes you gay or something like that?
Alex Jones said something like that. The gay frogs. Was Alex Jones? It says something about gay frogs.
Was it? I thought it was a politician.
It was Alex Jones. I remember.
Alex said that? Bastard. I didn't know he said. I thought it was a politician who said it.
Could be also, but yeah, they were mocking Alex Jones because he said from the poison you get gay frogs. And I don't know how you find those, but anyhow, and then a politician, he was imitating Alex Jones. I think it's something like that, because I think first it was Alex Jones and they were laughing with him. Because he said, and it was true, I think, because of all the chemicals, the hormones and things like that, you create like, different. The animals are looking different. I mean,
technically, let's do the science. Science. It actually makes some weird kind of sense in a way, because frogs change their gender whenever they need to. Reptiles do, lizards do.
Okay. Yeah.
So is it possible that we somehow do something to the environment that forces the frogs to think that, yeah, I can't be man anymore. I can't be male, I have to be female. It's possible. Like part of my theory, I think, but it's not, that's not gay though. That's
there's something that's blocking their testosterone. Something is blocking either the production of testosterone or the way they utilize it or something along those lines.
There's biological, there's psychological, but part of my theory is I think that there's too many people on Earth. And I think that our species also is doing the same thing. We don't need male and female anymore. We need more of a spectrum. And so I think that we've had a spectrum since the very beginning, but I think now we're getting more of a spectrum.
There are too many people on Earth. Is that what you said?
Hell yeah. We need people to stop being freaky. That's what we need, number one. I think there's a powerful creature in control of all of this, and it's saying, you know what? We need y'all to be a little more empathetic, so they make men a little more empathetic, give them a little more of the feminine on the spectrum. And women, or maybe some of them need to be a little stronger because they live on patriarchal planets, so some of them got to learn how to fight and be more aggressive and psychopathic, so they get a little more than I don't know. I'm making stuff up, but no, I think that we're definitely screwing nature up with GMOs. There's no question about that. I mean, just and outside the GMO, the animals eating it, we know that the French study that showed that the cows, when they ate the BT toxin, their cell line actually creates it. Like it adopted the DNA from the BT bacteria. Animals, bacteria in their stomach. There's either pigs or cows. Somebody can look it up real quick.
I think cows. Pigs cannot. Yeah, I think cows.
Okay, we're going to treat this like the Joe Rogan show. Somebody go out there and figure it out. One of the three. But it does. There's no question that we do. But then it's what Crystal said also, which is the glyphosate. So the only reason you have GMO is because chemical companies want to sell chemicals. It has nothing to do with feeding people. It never has. Chemical companies want to sell chemicals. That is their job. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's what they do. They're a profitable organization and they have to sell it. So they created GMOs, a crop that you can grow better with their chemicals, supposedly, right? And so there's the glyphosate, that's a carcinogen that destroys the bacteria and pretty much the life force of the plant. But then it goes in the soil and it kills off all the soil life. So whether the animals eating the GMO or not, that's only one thing. The other thing is we're destroying the ecosystem. All the aquifers are full of glyphosate and the 11 popular pesticides. So even the rivers are poisoned. So they're drinking poison. The ground is poisoned. And I think other native species aren't even growing because of it. So there's no question on this planet that GMOs are effective. We're destroying the environment with GMOs, and it's almost free to grow because the government that's saving grandma subsidizes this, and they somehow helping grandma.
Yeah, it's true. But
anytime you get away from nature, you know, the more chemicals in the air, in the water, in the ground, in medicine and food, like, you know, obviously poison, like the worse it is. So, yeah, we mean it too, Miss Tree. We're with you, girl.
Yeah, but how deeper you go in the earth, how more it's a kind of also. I thought I read somewhere that the earth goes how deep you go, it's cleansing. So actually, the water is what's coming out of the depth of the earth. It's clean again because the earth is always cleansing, even if we pollute it. The earth is always, the earth is also a deity, it's Mother Earth, and she tries to cleanse everything, even while we pollute it. But at some point, she will purge everything out. It's like she's too full of poison, then she will vomit, and vomiting is like earthquake, it's an earthquake. Something
It's
and
just like
other
our
disasters.
bodies,
Yeah.
always, trying to cleanse itself to perform optimally.
Real talk. I just
As
wanted to
above,
point
so
out the
below,
comment.
as within, so without.
I said
Yeah.
Alex Jones was gay first. I said it before anybody else, and I said it in the video. He's definitely he's not solid on the spectrum in one spot. That spectrum. He's on anybody who's constantly picking with something else. They're trying to convince you that they're not that something else. I said it first. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, yeah.
Oh,
Gerard,
Courtney,
speaking of work, I have to jump off. I got
lying.
some
You
cotton
ain't
to pick.
you get in the pool. You get in the pool.
No, I'm not getting in the pool.
You're lying. You're not going to work. She just said, you know what? I think I need to let them think that I have a job. I'm just. All right. Thank you for jumping on Christ. Courtney's coming in right behind you.
All right.
That was
Great.
the next question. Have a good day.
Yeah. Get on, Courtney.
Bye.
Courtney says she's scared to go on though.
No, she should come on.
No, she seriously. She said she's scared. Not even Susan. I think it was Susan who's saying that she wanted Courtney to come on. Other people were requesting.
Oh yeah, and if she comes, I will go because I've been a long time on too. If so, a study on GMOs and they actually changed the hormones in frogs. Oh yeah.
Science. Absolutely. I love science. That was the wrong one though. Science. And the fake one is science TV.
Science.
I am so tired of people saying that. I'm anytime science trust that I'm no. It's science. No, I know it's not. I know you're making that up. You saw it on TV. Don't even.
Yeah. Everyone is now a scientist. Everyone is a scientist. Everyone you talk, everybody knows everything about viruses. It's crazy.
They might not understand any of the words they're saying or what they mean, but they know how to say them because they heard it on YouTube, dude. It's gotta be
true.
You or television.
Television. Well, yeah.
Yeah, she's ready.
Truther so-called community where we don't watch television. If anyone says it on the not mainstream media, not corporate media, it's got to be true, which is crazy. It all contradicts itself. You got to look at your sources. You got to discern. You got to use your brain. You got to look at the other side of the story. And you have to come up with, maybe I think it's this way until more evidence comes. You don't have to, but yeah, you can just be a dumbass and follow everything anybody says. Yeah, you can do that. A lot of people do. Quite irritating because it misleads. And then people hear you saying bullshit and they don't believe anything else you say because you went around spouting that bullshit.
Yeah, it's true.
If you really love the truth, it's serious stuff. After the Mount St. Helens eruption, thousands of new species of frogs and salamanders evolved. Oh, you're being serious now, Beaufont, from the thousands of ponds and lakes created in Lahar zone. Cool.
Yeah, but that's like Yellowstone. That's always a creation. That's a constant creation. Like the earth is there. Like I imagine Yellowstone is like the earth was in the beginning everywhere. So it's magic. It's really amazing. Everything is bubbling and creating and spraying, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. And I think that's kind of creation.
Yeah,
I have no idea what she's talking about.
constant change, right? Nothing is ever static.
Yeah, true. Everything changes all the time.
And it's a good thing. I think that's why we can't destroy anything so bad that the system doesn't wipe it out. Like as smart as we think we are, we're not. I think eventually the planet will always scrub our nonsense. I think even with the RNA vaccine, I think as dangerous as that is, I think in enough generations, the human body is going to filter that nonsense out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Susan's talking about sperm. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're going deep into something.
Yeah, Courtney is on.
Autocorrect changed sperm into supermarket.
I have no idea where that comes from the frog kind of things, and now everything. Okay, let's.
I think Courtney was joking. I don't think she was. I think they were having a discussion. I don't think she said she was coming on. I think Susan and Courtney were going back and forth about sperm. And Courtney,
okay.
She was like, "Yeah, I'll come on." But I think that's a different meaning.
Yeah, because then she said ready. You say, okay, come on. But yeah, I don't know. She said ready.
Huh?
Courtney said ready.
No, ready for sperm.
Okay.
I don't know, her boyfriend must be close, but I don't think she's talking about us.
Seamen are also those guys in the Navy. They're seamen too.
Mm.
Yes, they are.
The Navy.
Yeah, true.
I'm watching the last.
In the Navy. Go
ahead.
Last
ship. Y'all should watch The Last Ship. I finally got a chance to finish it. It's a great story about seamen, but there are a lot of good quotes in it. It's a good movie. It's about a pandemic destroys the earth. It kills off 90% of the human race, and there's like one last Navy ship left. So it's a good show. I like it.
Like a real pandemic where people actually die, right?
And they don't have TV commercials. They don't have commercials telling you it's a pandemic. They don't have superstars in Hollywood dies. Like Hollywood it just dies and blood comes out its nose and mouth. Nobody's going on. We're going through it together with you. It's a pandemic. There's no pass to make it a pandemic. It literally is a pandemic. And that was always my standing point. You don't have to tell people about danger.
Yeah, true.
It is really, really dangerous. The stupid people are going to die. You don't have to talk about it. If you have to constantly advertise something, it doesn't work.
True.
Yes. Toothpaste. If Lori gets a good toothpaste, she uses it. She does the advertising for free, word of mouth. She tells us about it, and we're going to switch to that. But if you have to run commercials and show people on the beach dancing, taking Xanax and Prozac and all of that crazy stuff, then obviously it doesn't do what you said it does, or it has other problems that you're not talking about because you're not a commercial for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So it's common sense actually. But I'm wondering, the Black Plague in the 16th century or 18th century, that must have been a real pandemic. Then I'm doubting that now too. I don't know. The Black Plague, the pest, how?
Which one was that? We looked at each one. They were all fake-demics. They were all plandemics. All of them were planned. There's never been that we know of an epidemic that became a pandemic without our help. Because every time one's happened that we looked at, it all happened during a time of war, or it happened while they were building an empire. Right, like there's always human help. We're either putting horse heads or bodies on catapults and shooting them over walls. We're putting it in people's food. The Spanish flu, of course, was the Kansas or Alabama flu because it came from here.
Yeah.
So, like, in order for it to go pan and be an epidemic to go pandemic, every one I've looked at, it had to do with humans helping it, government helping it. None have just done it by themselves, because I think it's a natural part of what goes on. The viruses are an extension of our immune system. They help the herd.
Yeah. Okay.
I think if that was the Byzantine Empire one, that did have to do with, I'm going to say it was Constantinople, where it was a city under siege. I talked about it in the video, but I don't remember half the stuff I said. But yeah, they were shooting horsehead disease meat into the town. They had a siege on the town. It creates a pandemic. We always help it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there is actually no natural kind of a pandemic then, not even, only the pandemics that Moses on his people, the 7 plagues, the frogs, what was it all? The frogs, the blood. Huh?
Wasn't it 12? 12 plagues?
12 already? I thought 7. But yeah, they were divine plagues, also with the help of the divine. Anyhow, but that's interesting how I don't know how it really was, but anyhow, that's what I wish actually, that all those people who are lying and killing, that the frogs come out of their mouth or the blood, that they can be recognized. Those are the bad guys. That would be good things.
Sandy Season says she used to have a gay dog. Any male dog that's not neutered, they don't care if it's a boy, a girl, a leg, a couch. They hump away. They're pansexual.
Yeah, all of them. I've had enough Navy men on my ankles and feet to prove it. Every single dog, all of them. I don't think these things exist, though. To be honest with you, now I'm going to another zone. We label things that I don't even think exist. Like we're always trying to categorize things because of how our brains work. We want it to be this or that.
Yeah, we label.
Maybe all of that preference stuff doesn't even exist. Like you just are what you are, and it changes over your lifetime. We're better. And we just feel that we got to categorize you and put you in a box. And like, look at like with dogs. Like to them, it doesn't matter. It's like, you know what? Listen, I got this thing, you got that thing. If you're not paying attention, I'm gonna put this thing in that thing. And they do it. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
We make it mean something, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. I think it's an energy. It's for animal. It's an energy. They have to get rid of that energy. Whatever it's in front of them, they need to get rid of that energy. I mean, that's
the other dog is like, you know what? Hey, I guess I'm fine with that. You know, or the other dog is like, nope, I'm not fine with that. Then we get bit, and it's just we don't have to label it. It's just it is.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's more spontaneous. I mean, with animals, it's more spontaneous. They test. Okay, this male goes to that female. If the female doesn't like, he goes to another female. It's just a kind. But they handle their energy much better than we do. I think Eckhart Tolle speaks in a book like that. Animals get immediately rid of an excess of energy, so they're actually always in peace. I mean, when they need to eat, they will eat. When they need to mate, they will mate. That's it. And for the rest, they're peaceful. They don't destroy. They don't kill for nothing and only for food. They don't have jealousy. They don't. Yeah, maybe and pet animals. They can be jealous if you. They can be jealous of affection from you to your husband or your wife or whatever. I think pet animals can feel that. I think, but most of the time the energy is always flowing, and that's not with human beings. That's what I think.
Yes.
I say I told you so. See, she didn't go to work. I told you. The pool was too cool or too hot. Decided she's not going to get in the pool.
Okay.
So I think I agree with you. Everything in nature has a purpose. The only thing that does dumb things that have no purpose is a human being. Who was I talking to? I think it might have been Paul. We were talking about murder. And I was thinking out loud, as I always do. And I said, and so he was explaining that they call them murder hornets because they murder bees, not because they murder people. And I was trying to explain, well, you know, when it was sold to me as an idea, it was sold that we need to be scared. These are murder hornets, they're big. So come to find out, the honeybees actually kill the murder hornets. They figured out a way. I think they fly around something.
Their senses, I think, with their senses, with their I don't they have these things, the antennas?
Okay.
Antennas.
I think they senses and they know when there is danger or something, or they know. They're very smart, I think. It's not, they find a way to survive, I think. Like you said, you explained.
Right, it finds a way. And so I was thinking, we call them murder hornets, and that's like anthropomorphing in some weird kind of way, because animals don't murder each other. Right? They have a very, you know, and maybe I'm playing with the definition of murder, but they don't kill things for no reason. Everything they kill is for a reason, a very good reason to them. And human beings are the only creature that just kill things for sport, for fun. We're the only murders. So there's no such thing as a murder hornet, right? We are the only things that kill things for no good reason.
So Sandy wanted to join.
You want to join? You can. Yeah.
You have to PM Gerard if you want to join, because he has to send the request in PM. It doesn't come up like the green thing, the green icon button.
I'll try to find her. It's easier if you just send me a PM, because I got a couple friends on here and it takes forever. When I do a search, but I'm trying to find her and send her a link. Oh, we get to see Sandy.
I looked it up and I was wrong. There were 12 tribes of Israel, but there was only 10 plagues.
Okay. Yeah, you know better the Bible than I do.
I looked it up on my screen. The frogs, the plague of lice, flies, cattle, dead cattle, boils all over their body, thunder, hail, and fire, locusts, darkness, and the firstborns die.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. Sounds like modern life, huh?
Yeah, it sounds like modern life, yeah. But on the wrong kind. Yeah. It's we have a continuous plague of attacking from all kind of and from above, from side, from under, from everywhere. Attacks like all directions. From all directions.
And Kia, no, you don't have to show your face. I'm trying to do this because I want to hear more from people. And now I used to read the comments from every live stream. You know, when it was 100, 200, 300, and it started to be 400. And it was like, I'm literally like spending 2 hours after every video trying to read what everyone posted, and I stopped. And so part of the reason I'm doing it is because I feel like I'm talking to myself when I can't see the comments. And I think it's easier now that this thing is getting big enough, whatever this is, that we need to hear more from people. So
that's nice. Yeah,
you don't have to show your face.
If you wouldn't have done this, we wouldn't have got to see Crystal, you know, and you started with Susan and Christine. Like, I didn't get to see them talking, although I always loved all their comments until you've been generously sharing your stage, Gerard. And
that's very nice. Yeah.
This is not a stage, sister. This is a hurt locker. This is how I get people to cuss me out in messaging. This is that I've come to realize that no, if you want to be famous, you need to lie. You got to do a lot of lying. You will never be honest and famous. I don't think the two exist.
No,
you will be infamous. Because if you're telling truthful things, you're going to interfere with everybody's identity. You're going to interfere with everybody's job, everybody's industry. And part of the reason why I do this, and it is worth my time, because somehow we found a couple hundred people that are okay with questioning their own industry, their own jobs, how they live their lives, the identity. And to me, there's before we get kicked off of Facebook, it's valueless. Like living your whole life with people I would call how I used to be a clone, someone who could not look at themselves and self critique or allow other people to critique, right? For the greater good of everybody, right? Trying to become a better person. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And even if they kick us out of here next week, I'm fine with that. Like, I now have hope in humanity. To be honest with you, I lost hope in humanity. I didn't used to always laugh like this. I wasn't always happy. The only reason I'm here now is because I realized there are an awful lot of honest, serious, good human beings out there who really mean the things that they say. And they correct their attitudes, they correct their behaviors. Yeah, we might get a snot bubble at first because it gets annoying to hear things you don't want to hear, but we move past it.
Yeah.
You can't put
when you actually see people, or you see their face and you see them talking, it's a lot different than just comments, because comments are very easily misunderstood. It goes haywire pretty fast, like emails used to do. Remember when emails were new and you'd have your whole family pissed off at you because you didn't word something the way you meant to, and they thought they were all pissed. It's like, I didn't even mean that. Whoa.
Sometimes it's funny too. It's like, yeah, okay. I can go with that.
But typing it out.
Yeah, but you have to take like with humor. Sometimes, they answer totally because you were thinking in another direction. But some comment you can take in many directions, and then it's funny when think, oh, I didn't think about that. That's how I take it.
It can be funny. But I think a lot of flame wars get started by accident. Like we used to call them flame wars, and then you see each other. So yeah, it's not bubble.
Oh, another thing about the animals. Animals do nothing half-heartedly. They do everything perfect. They kill, and they kill at once. They don't kill like torture or things like that. They just do it at once.
Cats do. Cats like the cat and mouse game, drag them out slowly.
Yeah, that's true. They play with their prey. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm wrong in that. See,
I think you're right. Like, spiders.
Aren't they doing it? Aren't they training though? They're not doing it for fun, right? Like they're training their kids, like when tigers.
I think.
Like they'll mangle that mouse and they'll let it go. I think they they don't have any little kittens around them. They're just instinctually they do everything right. So I don't know. Maybe that was to train their kids. Yeah. And when little kittens play, they play all that pouncing like they're.
Yeah. Lion cubs or tiger cubs, they do it like that because they have to learn to catch a prey, and then the mother, they bring little prey and then they have to catch it and things like that. Yeah, I saw that in a documentary. It's interesting, but I mean, that can be maybe painful for the prey because it's not totally dead and they bite everywhere and it's not dead. Oh my God. Yeah, no. But they don't do it intentionally to cause pain.
Yeah, like people do. Like torture, like Guantanamo Bay and everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what my guru said, if you the forest without people are everywhere clean. Animals are much more cleaner than human beings, and they have their kind of. If you see at once when a human being has been in a forest, you can see it immediately. She says, but animals can do for years and years. You don't notice there is no. They don't leave trace. They're clean, even if they have. We have to poo also into number 1 and number 2. But even that, the animals are more cleaner than we are. They're very clean.
And their poo and their pee, fertilize the earth, and it's all in the cycle. It belongs there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that, and she said I have an order in eating. She said there is a kind of order in animals, like the king of the forest is actually the tiger or the lion. And when he eats, the other waits, she said. And then later on, the other can eat. So they have a natural order. But then in taking food, because everything, the birds, they wait till last because they can pick very well everything. So they know.
Yeah.
They know this animal can eat this, that animal can eat that. So they're not fighting for the food because they know, okay, for everything there is food. So that's like we don't trust the divine, but they're more, they do it more like. I mean,
like the buzzards, and then the insects. Like they're gonna it's all gonna be used,
Yeah, that's what they do. It's a natural way. So everything they do everything better than we do for sure, at least. Anyhow, so okay. So now some other people can come. I'm talking here all the time.
I have to sign off too. My patient's gonna be here any minute, so
Yeah, and I think
while I can. Love you.
I wait till
Thank you, Gerard. Love you, Christine.
Yeah, thank you, Laurie. I wait till somebody else come up, and otherwise I'm going to. I talked whole. It was pleasant. It was a different topic, but it was nice. I hope.
What time is it in Belgium?
In Belgium, it's now 11 a.m.
Did you sleep last night?
No, I have to sleep now, and tomorrow I have a busy day. Yeah, I will be not so much on the internet tomorrow, but okay, in the weekend I will get my time in. I think I really have to because I'm not as fresh as I used to be, but it's my fault. There's too much interesting things to talk about, so I'm never bored. That's no problem with me. That's a good thing.
Y'all, much love.
Yeah, okay. So now wait, somebody else comes up. Otherwise, we stop. Anyhow, seems to be nobody wants to come up. Then I'm going to. Yeah, we're all gone. JR comes back. We're all gone. I think so. I have nothing to say anymore. So I talked for 2 hours. I think by now. But Sandy is okay. She cannot get in. Yeah, wait. So there, she's struggling. Sandy is struggling with getting on. So somebody else wants to get on. So because I want to get out, and I wait till somebody comes in. You come in then, Naomi. You have time to talk. You can come, and then Sandy comes. I want to go out. Naomi, if you want to come in, you have to message Gerard, and then he will let you come in. Mystery, why don't you come in? Buffon, you come. Okay. Yes, Christ says to Courtney, she needs to come on. And Susan can come on too. She's home, I think. Or Buffon. Buffon. Laurie. I think I don't know. I am on Facebook, K Whitmore. I'm on Facebook, so I don't know how it's with YouTube. Ah, Susan is foraging. Oh, yes, she's right. Okay, nobody. You have to, Naomi, you have to message on Messenger, Gerard, and then he will send you Be Alive. And you just have to click, and then you connect with the camera, and then you're on. It's very easy. It's only click, click, click. Okay, somebody else wants to come in then? If nobody else coming in, I have to go. I need to get some sleep. So Naomi, I hope just message. I hope it works. And Miss Tree, why don't you come? Okay, good. All the people I see on the comments, like Miss Tree, you're always on the comments. So I want to hear your voice too. And then Kia, you can come in too. Whatever. And Courtney can come in too. And Susan can come. Oh yeah, Susan, she's foraging. And Jonathan, he couldn't get in because he had no good Wi-Fi, I thought, because it didn't work. Okay, I don't. Oh, you're a lot of. Oh, okay. No, you can. You can put on your robe, mystery. Okay. Okay. I wait 10 minutes more and then then I go off because nobody's coming. I'm not going to talk to myself. I don't know. It's more difficult to talk on your own. Wow. If you can do a whole talk, at least. Mystery, you can put something on. I don't know where. Isn't it? I think he's working. Why is picking cotton? I think so. I think. 10 minutes. Yeah, then I'm gone because nobody comes in. Nobody wants to come in. It seems it doesn't work. Naomi wants to come in and Naomi Goodwin. And
right. You should. I've never seen Naomi before. Naomi Goodwin, ladies and gentlemen. No, Gerard was not taking a potty break. Gerard is at slavery. I had to go get a cotton. I had to go pick some cotton real quick. I thought Sandy was coming on.
Yeah, but it didn't work. She couldn't get. It was always error. She said.
But I didn't leave. I go pick cotton and I put my earbuds in and I take my phone with me. So I'm still here. I'm just not here. That's what happened to Lori. She had to go save some lives.
Yeah, and she's can do commenting. So yeah, I think Naomi can come in, and then somebody else.
Okay.
For me,
Yeah, Naomi, all you got to do is go click the link. It's in your message. And
okay, what's that? That just kicked me off. What does that mean?
oh, sorry.
Okay, I should not say anything. It's just stare in the camera.
And not say anything until somebody blinks. Sometimes I both find jokes, they just fly right over my head. Sometimes I got that one. Okay. Everybody's dirty today. Why is everybody dirty today? Stare down. Oh, maybe Lori and Beaufont are talking. Did they unblock? Are they friends again?
Yeah, he friended everybody again. That's nice.
What?
Jonathan, you can come in. You missed it. Is now your phone better?
They don't need to rely on my weak Wi-Fi. Yeah, Jonathan, you already got the link, Jonathan. You can click the same link. We have to start a new one. I think Christine, you don't want her to fall out. She's got to get at least half a minute of sleep tonight.
Yeah, I need to sleep. I just
yeah, the TPS reports. I had to go do some TPS reports.
Any minute.
Oh, wow.
Gloria's patient.
That's talent. She's still commenting. She's commenting, lady in the background.
Yeah, she can do that.
It's coming! It's coming, honey! Yeah! And Lori's up there just typing away. She's confident. I know my job. Oh, I know what I got to do. You know. That's a professional for you.
Yeah, she's really professional. She can do that. Okay. Oh.
Oh yeah.
I can't hold the connection. Yeah.
He kept freezing up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
He didn't even say anything, did he? He couldn't
say anything. And I thought, yeah.
Every 30 seconds, Jonathan, you're like. That's something
his other apartment had better Wi-Fi because this apartment it's more difficult for him where he moved in. Seems to be. Or maybe it's at school. Grand trines and yachts straight through them. That's for the astrology class. I will talk about it, but not anymore today. You can. Not even a hello.
Dave, you have to say something sweet to him first, brother. You have to say something nice and reply to their text. Women are sneaky. No, not sneaky, wrong word. Women sometimes need to see that you just don't want things from them. They want to see that you have content. So, Dave, you have to reply to their comment with something deep. That's what I try. Hey, Naomi is on camera.
Okay. Hello.
Okay. It says waiting to join. Oh, going live in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here I am. Is it just going to be, or is it just going to be both of? Are you staying at all?
I think we're gonna hang around and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done. Totally new at this.
It's literally nothing. It's literally nothing. It's just a different way of texting and commenting. So I'm glad to see that you.
Feels like you're a specimen in the jar now.
It's just a conversation among friends. People get on here and talk, and that's all it is.
It's just like chatting on the street or wherever you are with people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't feel like chatting on the street. I'm not that kind of person. I like the Facebook because I don't have to worry about it too bad. Now, one-on-one, I'm good with conversation.
I got still 3,500. Yeah, I'm going, so it's okay. I'm going, I have to go to sleep. So, good night. And
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
We will see
yeah.
you.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye. So,
Bye-bye.
Naomi, tell us about Naomi. Goodness gracious, we see you around here all the time. Tell us about Naomi. What's going on with Naomi in the global pandemic, whatever is going on?
I got caught being homeless, and my children are now temporarily in custody with the state. So I get a whole lot of shuck and jive, and I need to consent. And I know that they're liars because they keep lying. And I know they don't hold themselves accountable to the rules, but they expect to hold me accountable to the rules. And I'm really kind of at a loss when a judge has ordered me to consent to fraud. So I'm in a very, very currently confusing, and wish I understood that I could know I can cross a finish line and my children are where they are supposed to be.
And we might have to talk about that offline, but I'll
Yeah.
say some things in general.
Oh yeah. No, that's how I speak anyway. When I speak to people, I don't generally get specific unless it's really somebody I know and trust. Because
never do that, especially online or I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know how much speech can harm you.
Well, and
People
they look for it.
Against you.
Right, they look for it. Like there's not a person in America who has a Facebook account who can't have their children taken because of a post. Right? They can do anything they want for any reason that they want. So the first thing I'm going to ask you, do you have a lawyer?
State lawyer, and so I've been in a court setting with my children, DSS issue with the court in Buncombe County, and the lawyers at that time and the courtroom at that time all like it should. Everything looked correct. Nowhere was anybody's rights being violated, and it made it seem like rights were a thing that courts actually gave a crap about. And this time around, I wasn't worried, and I should have been. So, yeah.
I want to try to be clear. When it comes to, kids, you can't trust anybody appointed by the court, right? So do you have a lawyer under retainer?
No, we don't. I know a friend of mine recently dealt with DSS, and luckily she was accomplished enough to have $5,000 and got up on retainer. We're not set up with that kind of fundage. We had $6,000, but now we have an RV. We were trying to get that before court, but it was the day of court after court. So it was $1,000 down deposit to hold the thing, because we had to get the title and everything, and that had to happen after court because, banking hours and all that good stuff. And so, yeah, too little, too late.
Think about a GoFundMe. Think about family. Think about friends. Think about the local churches. You have to get a lawyer. That is like the very first step. You absolutely have to be a lawyer. Because I probably, this is probably something that we should talk about offline. I used to counsel parents who are going through this. But step one is you have to lawyer up. You cannot trust the court stuff. You have to lawyer up. There are a lot of good judges out there who will try to look out.
Like I said, I've been through court before, and everything worked at that time. Like, it looked like it was a system that worked, and I was surprised. I got the words come out of the judge's mouth, "This is overreach." And I was like, oh, praise God.
There are good judges out there. There's no question about that. But it's not worth trusting any one of them. It's in fact, a lot of times, once you lawyer up, if they don't already have some sort of placement, then they'll just back down very quickly. Right?
Yeah.
Doing anything that you can to make sure you get a lawyer. And in fact, what state do you live in?
I'm in North Carolina.
Okay. I have to do some feeling around to see if I still know anyone and I work with the family court system in North Carolina. It's been a long time, huh?
Lori just messaged that she's going to pray and send good vibes. It is. Thank you, Lori.
Well,
My child hasn't been away from me for more than a day previously, and it's now been a couple months. It's really hard.
everything is going to be all right.
I think so. I do. I really do, even though I can't see why or how at the moment. I really do think so.
But that actually is what got me involved with children's rights. And I realized that they can do that at any time, any place. And the other thing I was going to say to you is whatever they tell you to do in terms of online or saying anything in public, always listen to it. Before they have kids, before they have your kids, you can do all types of things. You can say all types of things. After they have them, they pretty much have you. Right? So you definitely want to follow everything that they tell you. Don't sign too much. You got to get a lawyer first. Every state is different. Every county is different.
Yeah.
So you don't want a lawyer that's in a different county. You want a lawyer who actually works with that court system. Like one thing we used to say, the best thing to do, and it works for divorce for child custody hearings as well, is when you know what a court is going to be at, you go to that court and just walk around to the surrounding offices and pretty much get the first family court law firm that you find. Right? That's going to be a law firm that knows the judges at that court well. Hire them and get them under retainer. They all play golf together. Right? They all go to the pool together. They do things on the weekends together. You want to make sure that you have someone on your side who knows the judges, who's close to the judges, because I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot more cronyism that goes on there than what anybody knows.
Yep, that is true.
Yeah. So
it's the same. All these systems are designed that way, where these people self-segregate. All doctors tend to hang out with doctors, and they go do the same thing after work, go golf or whatever. And it's really, how they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And all these systems are designed that way to be these self-contained little pocket of different realities. And you're not in it. That's why they say you're a fool. Even if you know the law like nobody's business, if you haven't been practicing law in that courtroom and everything, you're already shooting yourself in the foot if you go be your own lawyer, even if you know what you're doing. Besides the fact that you will be blind and you have blind sides.
Right. We did used to teach people how to go through, like, divorce is something you can do by yourself. Fighting over assets you can do by yourself. When it comes to children, you don't take my advice, you don't take anybody else's advice. You definitely get a lawyer on retainer. It's possible. So take a loan out if you need to, but do anything you can immediately, because the sooner the better. The sooner, definitely, the better.
Yeah.
In other words, you need money, lots of money. And I mean, it's not untrue. I mean, everything here is designed on money, right? The more money you have, the more freedom you have. The more money you have, the less laws you're subject to. But
Well, I know that's the fact because there's the people that make like 50 grand a year or whatever, they'll have a lawyer on retainer and they never do the speed limit and they get tickets all the time. They send them to the lawyer and they've never had to deal with it. They just pay for this retainer and it's done.
Right. Right. So, and this is part of the reason why we get into private law versus public law, and why, so many people here are looking into correcting their status, because we consent to all of this, right? In our birth certificates, we're not private citizens, right? We don't have any rights. They can do anything they want at any time they want. So, yeah, I'm gonna be.
That's my dream, is that there would be the ability to do that if you have 150 people all make an agreement together how to, with a large amount of land, you get to be your own township or whatever.
Right. And that's what they don't want. That's terrorism that they're trying to get away. But certainly, I'm trying to, once again, I'm trying to be very careful what I say.
Oh, I know.
if your Facebook page is public, you want to make it private. My posts are all public, so you want to be very careful what you say in my posts. But anything that you say and do, I don't know how they do it, but they have access to so much information, and they will blow things up in your face. I'm not going to ask any more on that. Other than that, how are you doing?
I'm still alive, putting one foot in front of the other. I still think it's going to work out, even though I don't currently know how. But yeah, it's not till October. Yeah, we'll see.
It'll work out. And there are people here that will help as well. So if you start some sort of a GoFundMe or Patreon, I have to advertise it. I'll push it out to everyone I know. So yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too deep. We can talk offline. I don't want to do that.
But as far as the pandemic's concerned, the only thing that really is getting to me is all the people in the masks everywhere. Because the mask mandate in North Carolina, that was over ages ago. And now every business you have to wear a mask here. And everybody wears a mask. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do it. Nope, won't do it. Nope.
All you need to do.
People, and it's just creepy, and I'm like, why don't they feel that? How do they not notice that something's wrong? How do they? And really throws me through a loop is seeing children. Like back when there was a mask mandate, they said, okay, all children under the age of 11 are exempt, but all these people have so many little kids in masks. I'm just like,
they're scared. They're very scared. And I regret even asking you about that. Don't talk about that. Even online, don't do it, because there's too much interpretation of these things. And if you get a judge I would stay away from everything involving kids, politics, pandemic. I wouldn't say
I'm not Team A or Team B or red, blue, and I one time thought about green, but after that I'm done. I realize there is no such. It's rigged, and why is anybody doing it? You're just consenting anyway. I don't want to do that anymore.
It's BS, but where I'm going with that is I've seen judges take kids from moms and give them to dads just because they were in the military. I've seen them do that just because of certain race. I've seen them do that. I've seen them do the wildest thing. So what I'm saying is that
they have mom and dad together.
I'm saying judges. So family court, they work with foster care, they work with divorce court. What I'm saying is the judges do their own interpretation, right? So I could see someone playing around, which they're not playing, making a case that like a lot of the quarantine facilities that they're making for children are because the parents aren't being safe with their children. The parents are being abusive because they're not following the orders of the state. The parents aren't putting masks on their children. So it's good to hear that North Carolina doesn't have that requirement any longer. But what I'm saying is it's probably a good idea to not even go out on a cliff, because if you run into a judge who watches the news, who's scared to death, and they personally think that parents who don't put masks on their children are putting their children in harm's way. Like all of this, there's disaster capitalism everywhere.
Anybody convince themselves that a piece of cloth can stop a virus? That should be as obvious as anything. Otherwise, they wouldn't require virologists to wear virologist suits. They would just say, "Oh."
Naomi, now you're speaking common sense, though. This is Sparta. Common sense. No, you're speaking science, and not you're supposed to be. You got science. You have to speak that. You cannot speak real science. When you speak real common sense science, and
I don't understand how people didn't scratch their head when it said any old piece of cloth will do. Like, what? How's that gonna work? No, really though.
fear. The people are really, really scared. It boggles my mind every day how scared people are. Like, just look at children when they're going to school. It basically made schools prisons. They're basically tiny prisons for tiny people.
They're psychological torture places that these children are going to be scarred. They're going to make everybody like OCD and Munchausen by proxy. Like, what? How did anybody hit them?
Froze up. I froze up. I don't know who froze up. She froze up or I froze up. This is weird. I can feel like I'm in the Truman Show right now. There's nothing else is moving, like everything froze up. But anyway, my computer is hardwired, so I'm checking in when I can. We're walking around doing chores done. All right, kid. We're about to drop anyway. Everyone's gone, and Naomi is froze. So, ladies and gentlemen, this will bring an end to this episode of Everybody is Cray Cray, and we hashtag all gonna die if we don't come together against the common sense. Yes, that is very true. What Lori just said. Until you get your thing straight, if you're still out there, Naomi, stay away from truth. Just like it quietly. Don't publish it anywhere. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And if I seem like if I seem like I'm being overly serious anytime a topic of children and child protection comes up, I am being very serious, and I'm being overly serious. You have to. You have to. Without going through any details. I've mentioned it many times before. There's one thing you never play with. You never play when somebody is taking your children. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And you want to be careful what you put in public. Get your kids back, and you can be as ignorant as you want to be. You can be as truthful as you want to be. You can be whatever you want to be. Do not defy the court after you have your children. And don't do anything that will tempt them. Did she just use 4 syllable words on here? People use 4 syllable words on here all the time, but fine. I don't care if people cuss. On occasion, I do. Y'all heard me. On occasion, rare occasion, but sometimes you have to. Bucking the system. Lori, you sound like like you've been in. I think you even mentioned that. You did. You have. You don't buck the system when the system's got your children. You go right along with the system. Do not play no games. Break time. Yes, it is genius. Break time. There you go. Last comment. To be fair and honest, one must grant that a sneeze or cough is not just virus. It's expelled in glops of mucus that we all have. Yes, and very true, Miss Tree. It's not just virus. It's bacteria, it's goo, it's hair and boo-boo and skin and all of that wrapped in with some mucus and some funguses. And it's just what we are. I don't know why people are so scared, but it's just what we are. Drink your smoothie. Mine is almost done. Actually, it's why I got to go pee and be a healthy person best that you can. I got to get going. Naomi's phone it's like her phone died or something like that. So look, it's Gerard, y'all have a good day. I'm out of here. Love y'all now. Bye-bye.